Back in Evansville on this glorious Tuesday night here at EVSC's historic Bossy Field. It's time for game one of a 4-game series. Yeah, we're playing another one of those between the Joliet Slammers and the Evansville Otters. Well, the Otters split the series between the Evansville Otters and the Windy City Thunderbolts after splitting the doubleheader yesterday. As we welcome you inside the booth. Hi, hello, how we doing? I'm Evan Patoka, and it was a bit of an interesting doubleheader back on Sunday as the Otters lost in walk-off fashion. It was their first walk-off loss of the season against Windy City on a sac fly by Carlos Pena, but they ended up winning game two by a score of 2-0 after a great performance pitching-wise from Landon Williman, Anthony Tomczak, and Junior Serta. On the other side, Joliet just came off of a sweep at the hands of the New York Boulders. That was back at home at Slammers Stadium. On Sunday, they ended up winning 6-4 as James Geschel got the save. Max Martzolf got the win. Joliet scored 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and that was all they needed. They only got 5 hits. And New York had 11. They got out hit by a good amount and still ended up winning. You just took a look at the plate meeting. Our umpires for today, Blake McKnight's behind the plate calling the balls and strikes with Bryce Aubart at first, Nicholas Reynolds at third. Should be a good one here between Joliet and Evansville. There's a doubleheader tomorrow starting at 5:05, but otherwise this game and the game on Thursday starting at 6:35 as the Otters are in a big spot here in the playoff hunt. Take a look at the standings. It's Washington still leading by a good amount. Florence has won 8 straight games, and now they're pretty close to us. They're pretty close to us. They're a half game back coming into today's festivities, but Otters and Florence still very comfortable lead in the wild card. Take a look at the West. Joliet is currently in 4th place, 9.5 games back of Schaumburg. Still, haven't been eliminated yet, so definitely a chance, but it's going to take a lot to go their way in order for Joliet to have a spot in the playoffs. It's going to take a lot for every other team besides Florence, Evansville, Washington, Schaumburg to not make it in. On the other side, though, the Atlantic Conference, New Jersey's up a game and a half on New York. New York did just beat Windy City, which gives Evansville a much bigger cushion. New York is 40-34 after their win against Windy City. Sussex County is 35-36. They're fighting for a wild card spot. Down East is in last place there. In the North Division, Quebec is leading by now 6.5 games after Ottawa is now on a pretty good winning streak. Brockton is behind him, 32-39, then Tri-City and Trois-Rivières. There are some games going on right now, and there were some games that started early today, as we saw Ottawa and Brockton play a doubleheader already, and Ottawa won game 1. Meanwhile, Brockton took game 2. Windy City, as mentioned, lost to New York, so should be a good one in this series between Joliet and Evansville. Joliet won both games here a little bit earlier in the season, and the third game ended up getting rained out. That was the Heritage Hat giveaway that got rained out, so that's why we're playing 4 here. The Otters looking to get a little bit of better luck against Joliet at home. They're a very good home team, 22-13 here at Bossy Field, but they lost a couple of close ones to Joliet here at home, but they went into Joliet on the 4th of July weekend and ended up taking 2 of 3, including sweeping that doubleheader on July 5th. So take a look at the bullpen. The pitching matchup for today is going to be Ben Petchke for Evansville. He has a 5.47 ERA, 54 1/3 innings so far. His last start was on the 29th here at Bossy Field against the New York Boulders. He threw 5 innings, gave up 1 earned run, but it was a 6-5 loss, as it was a little bit of a rough series here against New York, but that's in the past. On the other side for Joliet, it's Gunnar Kynes, the 32-year-old who pitching from the left side. He is at a 4.61 ERA, 82 innings. Strikes out a lot of guys, 76 strikeouts compared to 20 walks, but he does give up a lot of hits, which has been the damage mostly done against him this season. He has now pitched twice against the Otters, so the Otters hitting has seen a lot of him. And His last start against the Otters, though, he did go 6 scoreless and went to get 4 strikeouts. First game was on June 24th. Through 5 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, including a homer. Take a look back at the Midwest Division. Wild Things are cruising right now, as they're at a 49-23 record. They're looking to be the first team to 50 wins this season if they take the victory over Down East at home. That's before we head to Washington this weekend and play a 3-game series against them. And take a look at Joliet down there in 4th place, 5-5 in their last 10. You take a look also at Florence. Same amount of wins, just one more loss as Florence has won 8 straight. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. Lake Erie, though, not doing too well. 2-8 in their last 10. Same with Mississippi. They're at the same record. It's been a rough stretch for Lake Erie as they just got swept by Sussex County, including a 19-5 loss in Game 1. Take a look at Joliet's uniforms. They're wearing the green lettering, green hat, and the orange jersey. On the other side for the Otters, they're wearing the blue jerseys, the alternates, which they wear both at home and on the road. So far this season, they're 10-11 in those jerseys. The only jersey they have a record under 500 in. So they're looking to get back at 500. So we introduce the players here at Bosse Field, getting closer and closer to first pitch. Doubleheader tomorrow. It's going to be Eric Turner in Game 1 facing off against Colby Morse. Game 2's, though, still to be determined for both sides. Game 3, though, is going to be Ryan Daly facing off against Garrett Simpson. So those are the probables so far for this series. Joliet, after this series, is heading back home. And they're going to be taking on Schaumburg after a series at Gateway against the Grizzlies. They have a very interesting Canada trip at the end of August. They play Quebec and Trois-Rivières. They're 11-21 on the road, and Otters looking to make it 11-22 as we'll send you to the PA announcers in Claude Felter for the announcement of the national anthem, as we'll be right back after first pitch on the Otters Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America's freedom, those who helped protect and pay tribute to those who made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem. This evening being performed by Chi-Chi Asamuga.
Whose broad stripe and bright star through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Tonight's game ball is delivered to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And tonight, to say those magical words that start every Otters game, we got someone special, Anthony Otter. Girls, help him out.
Tonight's pitcher catcher battery for the Evansville Otters. Petschke is on the mound.
Here we go. Game 1 of 4 between Evansville and Joliet. Let's take a look at the lineups. First off, for the visiting Joliet Slammers, it is Ian Battipaglia leading it off at shortstop with Patrick Ward at third. Batting second, Blake Berry's in right field hitting third. Jackson Valera is the DH hitting fourth with Peyton Carr behind him batting fifth. Jackson Beeman in center field batting sixth. Tyler Cerny at second base batting seventh. Chris Davis is in left field batting eighth. And Brandon Heidel is batting ninth doing the catching on the other side. John Ponder, Monty Jones, Logan Brown, Marcos Gonzalez. The top four, as we've seen usually the past week or two. Blake Robertson behind him in left field. LG Castillo in left field batting sixth. Dennis Pierce DHing batting seventh. New signing Blake Barthol is hitting eighth at second base, and Mark Black is hitting ninth doing the catching today. On the mound for the Otters is Ben Petschke. Petschke a 5.47 ERA and 54 and a third innings. He's given up 59 hits, 33 earned runs, and the walks have been a little bit of an issue for him. 29 walks compared to 36 strikeouts, but he had a good outing against New York. 5 innings, only 1 earned run given up in the 6-5 loss. He was not a part of the decision.
Thanks for joining us.
Taking a look at the defense for Evansville, it is Castillo in left with Ponder in center, Robertson in right field with Gonzalez at third, Monty Jones at short, Blake Barthol at second, and Logan Brown at first with Mark Black doing the catching for Ben Petschke. As Ian Battipaglia steps up to the dish for the first time today, we will have our first pitch a little late, 6:37 right now, but Petschke kicks and deals. Pitch number 1, a little inside. The 1-0. Fouled back. Oh, Ian Battipaglia is hitting pretty well against the Otters this season. 7 for 18. He has a homer and 3 RBIs. The only all-star selection for Joliet this season. He went 0 for 1 and had a walk in the actual game. There's a grounder over to Blake Barthol. His throw to first is in time for out number 1. I'll talk about Blake Barthol a little bit more when he comes up, but should be a good addition to the squad. Another lefty bat that is added to the team as well. Speaking of lefties, Blake Berry and Chris Davis, the only 2 lefties in the lineup for Joliet. It's the righty Patrick Ward who steps up, hitting second in the lineup today. First pitch from Petschke is a little outside for ball 1. Patrick Ward hitting just shy under 300 this season. He's currently on a 14-game hitting streak. Hit a homer on Sunday against New York. Low and away, and it's 2-0. Against the Otters, 267, 4 for 15. A couple walks and 4 strikeouts. Inside, and it's 3-0. One for 4 on Sunday with that home run. And overall, in the series against New York, he went 5 for 14. That is called a strike. And it's 3-1. Now, Ward, when the Otters last played against Joliet, was hitting a little lower in the lineup because of the 14-game hitting streak, though. He's been moved up to the 2 spot, right behind the All-Star in Battipaglia. Fly ball into center field. Going back is Ponder. He will make the running grab for out number 2. So 2 down quickly here. Third man up, the first lefty of 2. Blake Berry takes ball 1. Berry hitting at a .292 now in his 68th game. High fly ball into shallow left field. Running after it is Castillo, and he can't get there. It's going to get past him. Barry takes a wide turnaround first, but he will be held there with a single.
Batting fourth, designated hitter.
So Barry gets it into no man's land in between Gonzalez, Amani Jones, and LG Castillo. First hit of the day for Joliet, and that'll bring up Jackson Valera in the cleanup spot. DH today, 34-year-old from Valencia, Venezuela. Sitting at a 318. He's having a good season. Well, for Petchke, this is his first time playing against Joliet this season. He's found a way to somehow avoid pitching against them this year. Also has to do with a couple of times we played Joliet this season, he was on the IL. Gunnar Kynes, on the other hand, has faced off against the Otters quite a bit. 1-0 is called a strike. Valera 1 for 2 back on Sunday. It was the only game he played in the series against New York. His teammates with a couple of guys on the Otters when they were all back on Gary South Shore in the American Association back in 2024, as that one is swung on and missed for strike 2. And Petchke 1 strike away from a scoreless top of the first inning. The 1-2 from Petchke. Fouled away off to the right side. Oh, it's a little bit of a cooler one compared to other games we've had here in the past. It's 83 degrees. It's a little windy. It was perfect in Windy City, not going to lie. It was 70s, windy, because Windy City, but it felt really nice. Felt like it was fall. Yeah, back here, definitely not as bad as the 95 and humid we had a little earlier in the year, but still feeling pretty nice. Blake Berry on first base just has 1 for 1 on stolen bases. Joliet is not too much of a stolen base team this season, besides Battipaglia and Cam Sudo, as that one is called strike 3. And Ben Petchke gets his first strikeout of the day. That will end the top of the first inning. Scoreless frame for Petchke will head to the bottom of the first, no score on the Otters digital network.
Otters fans, it sounds like we have a pizza van at EVSC's historic Boston Field tonight. Haven't had yourself a hot and fresh Toroni's pizza, but it's our hands. Make some noise if you want that Toroni's pizza. You don't have, looks like you found somebody. Congratulations and enjoy that pizza from our friends at Toroni's.
Tonight's pitcher catcher battery for the Joliet Slammers. Gunnar Kynes is on the mound. Brandon Nigel behind the plate. Pitcher catcher battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North River Road.
First inning brought to you by the Mesker Park Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Visit the Mesker Park Zoo at 1545 Mesker Park Drive in Evansville, Indiana. Let's take a look at Joliet's defense. It is Chris Davis in left field with Jackson Beeman in center. Blake Berry in right field with Patrick Ward at third. Ian Battipaglia at short. Tyler Cerny at second. And Peyton Carr at first, with Brandon Heidel doing the catching for Gunnar Kynes, the starter here in Game 1 of the series. Gunnar Kynes, the lefty, coming from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He has a 4.61 ERA in 82 innings. He has been a big innings eater for Joliet this season. Had one good start and one relatively start against Evansville so far this season. The Otters have a good record, though, against lefty starters, sitting at a current 16-9. As John Ponder leads it off, it's Ponder, it's Jones, it's Brown. Take a look. The walk to strikeout numbers are very good. The whip at a 1.05. He's having a good season. See how he does here. He's not the fastest thrower as we've seen, but he's used a lot of good breaking stuff in order to get batters out at a consistent rate. And he also, as mentioned, with the walks and strikeouts, locates very well. First pitch, though, called a ball. 1-0 is called a strike. Ponder hitting at a 335 so far in his 60th game of the year. 1 for 4 combined, 1 for 8 in the doubleheader. Went 1 for 4 in game 2. Somebody's been thrown out already. Blake McKnight has apparently thrown out TJ Zarowitz already. We're 3 pitches into the bottom of the first inning. Apparently Zarowitz was already chatting with Blake McKnight, the home plate umpire. He's the crew chief for the series. Andy McCauley slowly making his way over. This is the first time Zarowitz has been thrown out this season. He's showing McKnight how far away that pitch was that was called strike 2. We're 1 batter in. And we already have a coach gone for Evansville. Zarowitz already getting thrown out, so he's getting his words of wisdom in there. Pretty quick trigger from McKnight. 3 pitches in to the bottom of the first inning. And we already have some drama between Evansville and the umpires. We saw Andy McCauley get tossed in one of the games of the doubleheader. Game 2, the Otters ended up winning that one. 1-2 from Kynes. Fly ball into center field, and that will drop in for a base hit. Ponder leads off the bottom of the first with a single. First hit of the day for Evansville, and overall 79th of the year for Ponder. That'll bring up Amani Jones. Well, the offense, with their hitting coach now ejected, might have to rally around that. Put up a solid 10 spot. How are we feeling about that? Ponder on first, nobody out. First pitch to Jones is a high fly ball that will go foul. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Jones went 1 for 6 combined in the 2 games of the doubleheader, including an 0 for 3 in game 2. 2 for 19 against Joliet this season. Has been struggling against Joliet pitching. Just a little bit. Popped up foul, and it's 0-2. Jones hitting at a 277 this year in 66 games. Jones the switch hitter. There's 3 lefties in the lineup: Logan Brown, Blake Robertson, and Blake Barthol. So we have 2 lefties named Blake. 0-2. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying over towards the third base line. Monty Jones will strike out, and that is out number 1. First K for Kynes. And 1 out. That'll bring up Logan Brown.
Batting third, the first baseman, number 28, Logan Brown.
Now Ponder still on first, leads the team in stolen bases. He stole his 27th in the doubleheader. First pitch misses high for ball 1. Logan Brown hitting at a 341. He drove in both of the runs, and the only runs in game 2 of the doubleheader with a 2-run single. That single bringing in Ponder and Mark Black. Runner goes as that one's fouled away, and Ponder will have to head back to first. 5 for 17 against Joliet this season for Logan Brown. Against Kynes, he's 1 for 4 with a strikeout. And Ponder now showing that he has ran before against Kynes. See if he goes again here on the 1-1. Fly ball into left field. Chris Davis under it, and he will make the catch for out number 2. Ponder heading back to first base. And there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Marcos Gonzalez up. Cleanup spot. Also has struggled so far this season against Joliet pitching. 2 for 18. Joliet and Evansville haven't necessarily played too many high-scoring games, especially that doubleheader back on July 5th. One ended 2-1, one ended 2-0. First pitch called a strike. Gonzalez 2 for 7 in the doubleheader. 2 for 4 with a run driven in game 1. 0 for 3 with a strikeout in game 2, which ended his streak of 20 straight games reaching. Throw back to first is not in time. Those 20 games, though, is tied for 3rd highest by an Otter this season, behind Robertson's 22, which ended a couple days back, and John Ponder's 30 to start the year. The 0-1 from Kynes. Runner goes as that one's hit up the middle, and a race to the bag. It was in time. Throw to first would have been in time either way, but that is out number 3. And a fielder's choice will end the first inning. Both teams pick up a hit, but neither of them score a run. We'll head to the second no score on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters fans, we've got escaped animals on the loose from Metzger Park Zoo and Botanic Garden, and we have bigger animals here to round them out. We've got Serenity as our zebra tonight, and Emery as our otter. Whoever gathers the most animals up, getting some passes to the zoo. Animals, are you ready? Set, go. All right, looks like we got them all. Let's count them up and see who our winner is. I think I know.
Hey Evansville, you love the Evansville Otters. Wait until you meet the ones in Metzger Park Zoo. Splashing, playing, and way cuter than your buddy in Section G. Yeah, come see us 365 days a year from 9 till 4 p.m. in Metzger Park Zoo.
Serenity is our winner.
Top of the second inning, no score here in Evansville. It is Peyton Carr, Jackson Beeman, Tyler Cerny leading it off. 5, 6, 7 against Petschke, who threw a scoreless first inning. Peyton Carr, when leading off an inning, he's hitting 300, 12 for 40. And Petschke gave up a single to Blake Berry that just landed in shallow left field, but didn't bring him around. First pitch grounder to third. Gonzalez throw to first is in time, and one pitch gets one out here to start the second inning for Petschke.
Batting 6th in center field, 7, Jackson Beeman.
So one out, that'll bring up Jackson Beeman. Beeman hitting 245, 46th game of the year. He went 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout back on Sunday against the Boulders. Wonder how often this season a team that has played the two teams that are now playing next, the Boulders, played the Otters, played the Slammers, and now the Otters and Slammers are playing. I wonder how often that has happened this season. Now the Boulders are playing at home, but they're also playing a West Division team in the Windy City Thunderbolts. They played very early today, and New York won 7-4. 1-1 from Petchke is a little low. Beeman 2 for 16 against the Otters this season with 9 strikeouts. 2-1. Slider will miss outside, and it's 3-1. Well, Petchke had a 3-0 count against Ward and got him to fly out to center. 3-1 is called a strike. Lower half of the zone, and it's 3-2. As Beeman will call his timeout. Had a good day on Saturday against New York. He went 2 for 5, doubled, and hit a homer, drove in 3 runs. That's sandwiched in between an 0 for 4, though, and an 0 for 2. 3-2 from Petchke. That is called strike 3 as Petchke painting the edges on that one. One lower half, one higher half, and he has the second K of the day, and that's out number 2 in the top of the second inning. Two down, Tyler Cerny is up for the first time today. He's hitting 246 in his 38th game. He was hitting very high in the lineup when the Otters last played the Slammers. Fly ball into right field. That's going to get past Robertson and all the way to the wall. Cerny will head into second base. He's rounding second. He's heading for third. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. Triple for Tyler Cerny, his first of the year. And there's a man on third with 2 outs. Now for Chris Davis.
Heading eighth in left field to Chris Davis.
First triple for Cerny, only the 7th for Joliet this season. So that one got past Robertson in right field. He might have lost it in the sun as well. Cerny moves into third. Cerny's having a very good season against the Otters. Now 7 for 20. Chris Davis has not played against the Otters this season, but he has been with Joliet for a while. Only his 8th game with Joliet this season. He started the year with the Ottawa Titans. 1-0 from Petchke is called strike 1. "43 games with the Titans earlier this season, hit .277 before getting released on July 17th and signing back with Joliet 3 days later. Fly ball off to the left side. It will go foul, and it's 1-2. Oh, Petchke an opportunity to still get out of things scoreless even after giving up the triple to Cerny. Haven't seen too many triples here at Bosse Field. We saw one from Amani Jones in the series against New York. Slow roller over to third. Gonzalez barehand. He bobbles it, and a run will come in. Infield single for Chris Davis. And Joliet's taking a 1-0 lead.
99th and catching 15, Brandon Heidel.
Still not sure if that will be called a base hit or not. If it will be called an error, we'll have to wait and see. But that run does come in after the triple. And the Otters find themselves down 1. It will be called an infield single for Chris Davis and a run scoring single as well. First pitch a little inside to Brandon Heidel, and it's 1-0. It's Heidel and Ivan Dahlberg, the 2 catchers listed on the roster for Joliet. Heidel hitting at a 196, though, in his 35th game. Popped up foul. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it, and it's 1-1. Heidel only 6 at-bats against the Otters this season, but has gotten 2 hits. Also has struck out 3 times as he faces a 1-1 here against Petchke with Chris Davis on first base. 1-1 pitch. Fouled away off to the right side, and it's 1-2. It'll be Robertson, Castillo, and Pierce leading off in the bottom of the second inning. As Petchke tries to work around things, only giving up the 1 run. Definitely surmountable for the Otters offense. Find themselves second in batting average this season at a .298, just behind Quebec. 1-2. Breaks his bat, flies one into left field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. Heidel has a single, and 3 straight hits for Joliet. Has brought a run in and now has 2 on with 2 outs for the top of the lineup in Battapaglia.
Might be more wood for the winter fire, courtesy of our friends at House Lumber, a proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. Back to the top of the order, and our Hoosier Lottery strikeout center of the game at shortstop, 18 in Battapaglia.
So lineup flipping over here. Second time Petchke will face Battapaglia. Petchke, the numbers go up a little bit second time through. OPS goes from a 693 to an 854. Has already gotten Battapaglia, though, as that's a base hit into center field. Rounding third is Chris Davis. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off, and Logan Brown makes the throw to the plate. It's not in time. RBI single for Battapaglia has made it 2-0 Joliet here in the top of the second inning.
Third baseman, Patrick Ward.
So 4 straight hits now given up against Petchke, and 2 runs in here in the second inning. That'll bring up Patrick Ward. First pitch to Ward. Flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Now he fouls one away. Makes it 0-1. Joliet this season have just found ways to win games against the Otters this season. It's been a few low-scoring ones, but they've just kept on finding a way. One of those teams that's just kind of annoying to play against if you're Evansville. So that pitch is a high swing and miss for strike 2. Heidel on second with Battapaglia on first. 2 outs, 2-0 Joliet here in the second inning. Oh-2 from Petchke. Fly ball into left field, running after it is LG Castillo. That's going to get over his head and all the way to the wall. 1 run will come in. Battapaglia rounding third. He will score 2-run double for Patrick Ward as he extends his hitting streak to 15 games. And 4 runs have come in for Joliet in the top of the second inning. Five straight hits for Joliet after Petchke got the first 2 outs relatively quickly. It's been a triple, single, 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 and double. And Joliet, 2-out hitting, has brought across 4 runs. They now have 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Mound visit as Max Peterson heads to the rubber to have a quick chat with Petchke after the 4 runs he gave up so far here in the second inning. Blake Berry has a single already today, had the only hit in the first inning. Now 5 hits here in the second. 4 runs have come in. Otters have a pretty tall task now. A lot of game left. Those are only in the second inning. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Petchke here in the second inning has given up more earned runs than he has in his last 3 starts. Last time he gave up 4+ was on June 21st against Mississippi. So that one's in the dirt, and it's 2-0. So now it's just Patrick Ward on second base with 2 outs. This is the 8th slammer to hit here in the top of the second. 2-0 pitch. Inside for ball 3. A walk would put 2 on for Valera. Three-0 pitch. That one will get past Mark Black. It's ball 4, and Patrick Ward will take third base. That will put runners at the corners with 2 outs for Valera. First walk issued by Petchke today, and the 6th straight slammer to reach. As Valera will come up, he struck out looking to end the first inning, and now he's the 9th batter to hit here in the second. Petchke looking to leave 2 on here and get it to the bottom of the second where the offense can hopefully do some damage and make a little comeback. First pitch ripped down the line, but foul. And it's 0-1. Oh, 1. High chopper over to second base. And everyone is going to be safe as Barthol let that one go into shallow center field. Everyone will be safe, and another run will come in, a 5th run, as Ward comes in from third. And another base hit, RBI this time for Valera, will make it 5-0 Joliet in the second inning. So Joliet is batted around here in the second inning as Peyton Carr started off with a grounder to third on the first pitch. And he's back up now for the second time this inning. Has 2 on with 2 outs. 7 straight slammers have reached. First pitch called a strike. Oh, 1 from Petchke. Fly ball into center field. John Ponder moving back a few steps, and he will make the catch for out number 3. Joliet had 7 straight reach on 6 hits. 5 runs come across. They lead at 5-0 heading to the bottom of the second inning on the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to see who gets to upgrade to the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House. Our lucky winner gets to spend the rest of the game in the best seats in the house. So I say congratulations to Cecilia Jameson. And why did I pick Cecilia? Because she also put in husband. So enjoy your date night here at the ballpark, Cecilia and husband. Make your way down to the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House and enjoy the view for the rest of the game with your feet kicked up. This is the J.E. Shekel Armor Protection second inning. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service, and construction company.
Second innings brought to you by J.E. Shekel Armor Protection. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service and construction company. The Otters have 4 comeback wins when down by 4 or plus this season. Last one was all the way back on June 17th against Lake Erie, and they have to have a 5th one if they want to win this one, as they're down 5-0 here in the second inning. It's definitely a good opportunity for a comeback considering how much game there still is, but it was a rough second inning for Petchke, and 5 runs have come in already here for Joliet. It's Robertson leading it off. Robertson, Castillo, and Pierce. Otters need to get something going here in the second inning if they want to try and keep up with Joliet. First pitch misses outside for ball one. Robertson hitting at a 282, had back-to-back 1-for-3s in each game of the doubleheader. So that one hits the zone, and it's 1-1. One pitch. That is lined into center field and down for a base hit out in front of Beeman. Blake Robertson leads off the second inning with a single, and now both innings, the Otters have led off with a single. Definitely a good start to the second inning if the Otters want to get a couple runs across here. LG Castillo didn't play in the last 3 games of the series against Windy City. Went 1-for-5, though, on Friday. Had a great series against New York here at Bosse Field, and he has 3 homers already against Joliet pitching. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Overall, 9 homers, 44 RBIs. 4 for 16, so 3 of those 4 hits were homers. He drove in 5 runs. Still hitting at a 352. Now in his 48th game. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Castillo, though, does not have a hit against Kynes this season, 0-for-3 with a strikeout. As Castillo will call his hitter's timeout. Robertson on first base with nobody out. 5-0 Joliet in the bottom of the second inning. 7 hits on the day already. 0-2. That one will miss outside, and it's ball one. One-two here from Kynes. Throw back to first is not in time. Kynes, 32 years old, technically a veteran. 8th season in the Frontier League. 2nd in Joliet. Last season he had a 4.67 ERA in 108 innings. Had one of his worst starts of the season, though, against the Otters. 4 2/3, gave up 9 earned runs. 1-2 is high and inside. Spent time in other leagues, though, as well. The Atlantic League, the Mexican League, the Australian League. He's been everywhere. He's kind of like Chris Quitzer in terms of his longevity. 2-2 is called strike 3. And Castillo goes down looking for out number 1. Very big looping curveball, and that's strikeout number 2 today for Gunnar Kynes. Dennis Pierce up for the first time today. First pitch is called a strike. Kynes' last outing was on the 29th against Florence. He went 6 1/3, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 7. Oh, 1. Little high, and it's 1-1. He has only walked more than 2 batters one time. That was back on the 17th against Schaumburg. He earned the loss there. He's currently at a 5-3 record. That one is high, and it's 2-1 to Pierce. Pierce 1-for-4 with a walk and a strikeout against Kynes this season. Robertson still on first with 1 out. Fouled away, and it's 2-2.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Hess Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Kynes has kind of been relatively the same over the course of all 3 months this season. 5 ERA in May, 4.4 in June, 4.44 in July. It's kind of relatively just been staying in that 4 to 5 range the entire season as that one's fouled away.
An overhead foul ball brought to you by Hedge Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Most strikeouts he's had in a game is 9. That was back on May 20th against Lake Erie. But second is 7. He's done that in each of his last 2 outings. He has 2 already today. 2-2. Another one fouled away. A couple of roof souvenirs for Pierce. Still staying alive in this at-bat. Two. High for ball 3. Good at bat here so far for Pierce. And we know Pierce can definitely take a lot of walks. Has some very good plate discipline. 43 walks, 49 strikeouts. He's been DHing a lot the past couple weeks, especially with the addition of more infielders like Barthol and Quitzer. 3-2, swung on and missed for strike 3, and back-to-back Ks for Kynes. That put 2 outs on the board here in the bottom of the second inning. Robertson stays on first base.
Second baseman, number 8, Blake Barthol.
Blake Barthol, welcome to the Otters. First at bat with Evansville this season. Just signed today. He's coming from the American Association. And also spent this past collegiate season with Coastal Carolina. Matter of fact, he spent all of his collegiate career with Coastal Carolina. 23-year-old from Breinigsville, Pennsylvania. Another lefty to add to the lineup. Oh, 1, swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Barthol hit .304 in 60 games with Coastal this season. Perfect game preseason all Sun Belt Conference team selection. A lot of good program records for him. That one just misses, and it's 1-2. Was with the Milwaukee Milkmen for 8 games. He went 2 for 23. Got traded to Gary. Didn't play a game with Gary before getting released, and then now signing here with Evansville. 1-2's fouled away. It's a big average guy on base. Hits a good amount of homers as well. He's the second player in Coastal Carolina history to get 200 hits, 50 doubles, and 40 homers in a career with the Chanticleers. 1-2 is called strike 3, and Gunnar Kynes strikes out 3 straight to get all 3 outs. Here in the bottom of the second inning, he now has 4 on the day. As we'll head to the third, 5-0 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters fans, it's time for our Diva home run derby. We've got Emery down here on the first base side. She's gonna spin her around that knuckleball bat 10 times, hit the ball off of the tee into the net. If she can check all those boxes, she is a winner. Ready, Emery? Gonna spin fast? Gonna get dizzy? All right. Ready, set, go.
hitting for the Joliet Slammers. Center fielder 7, Jackson Beeman.
Top of the third inning, it is Jackson Beeman leading it off. Beeman, Cerny, and Davis here in the third inning. Joliet has a 5-0 lead after scoring 5 in the top of the second inning. 5 runs now on 7 hits, no errors. Beeman leading it off. He struck out in the second inning. First pitch misses just high. 1-0 pitch is called a strike. Beeman was with the Missouri State Bears this season. Collegiately hit 161 in 25 games. That one's inside, and it's 2-1. Leading off an inning so far this season. He's hitting .312, 10 for 32. There's a grounder over to short. Amani Jones. Throw over to first is in time for out number 1. Well, that'll bring up Tyler Cerny, who started off the hit parade for Joliet, his triple in the second inning. He ended up coming around to score after Chris Davis's infield single brought in a run. Cerny, that triple, his first of the season. The first pitch is called a strike, and it's 0-1. For Cerny, he knows the area a little well, at least north of here. He went to Indiana for a few seasons, then was at Kentucky for 2026. I mentioned now hitting 7 for 20 against the Otters this season. He's been doing well against Otters pitching. Oh-2 here from Petchke. That is just inside. And it's 1-2. Mentioned Petchke, the splits go up second time through the order. He had a 4.05 ERA, though, in July, which was a lot higher than his 9.87 that he had in June. He had a 3.04, though, in May, which was his best so far this season. But he's given up 5 earned or more now 4 times. The other 3 were on June 21st against Mississippi, June 10th against Lake Erie, and then he gave up 9 on June 4th against Mississippi. But the Otters ended up winning that game, the 13-13 sudden death victory. As Cerny gets hit by a pitch, and he'll reach for the second time.
Left fielder.
Now Cerny 6 for 9 on stolen bases so far this season. Overall on the stolen bases, 106 of them for Joliet, which is 8th, but mentioned previously, Mattapaglia has got a lot. So does Pseudo. They combined for about half of the total. They don't get caught too often, though. Only 20 times they've been caught stealing. Throw back to first is not in time. Chris Davis hit an infield single that scored. The runner in Cerny from third ended up bringing in the first of 5 runs in the top of the second inning. A little high, and it's 1-0. And Chris Davis has spent a lot of time with Joliet. Last season, he hit .235 in 89 games. Ended up getting released by Joliet, though, before the year. Signed with Ottawa, now is back here. One-0 pitch. Grounder over to first. Logan Brown will throw to second. That's going to get into left field. And an error on the throw from Logan Brown will allow both runners to stay safely at first and second now with 1 out.
The catcher, 15, Brandon Heidel.
So the error will put 2 on with 1 out now for the bottom of the order, and Brandon Heidel, who hit a single in the second inning, came around to score. Heidel, even though he's hitting under the Mendoza line, he's still hitting the ball well against the Otters this season in a pretty short sample size, though. Oh, 1. Check swing foul, and it's 0-2. Heidel with runners in scoring position hitting 206. 16 strikeouts with runners in scoring position, which leads the team. Second on that one is Cam Sudo with 14. Sudo getting the day off today, as well as Caden Morton and Ivan Dahlberg. They're all on the bench. On the bench for the Otters is Chris Quitzer, TJ Salvaggio, Sam Linscott, and it would be Dre Dirksen, but he was put on the IL today. A corresponding move for the signing of Barthol, who's at second base. 0-2. Popped up foul. Foul ball brought to you by Its Construction. Choose the best, never regretted, and it's going to remain at 0-2 against Davis. Heidel. Davis is on first. Heidel from Anaheim. He's multiple strikeouts in a few different games, overall 35 with 17 walks. 0-2 yet again is just inside, and it's 1-2 as the check swing didn't go around. One, 2. Little high, and it's a 2-2 count. Battipaglia on deck. He drove in 2 runs with his single in the second inning. Ended up making it 3-0. Now 5-0 here in the third. Spechke tries to get out of another little jam. 2-2. Fly ball into shallow center field. Ponder will allow Barthol to make the catch. Backtracking for out number 2. So 2 down. That'll bring up Battipaglia. Battipaglia with his 2-run single now has a 10-game hitting streak and 37 RBIs, which is pretty good for a guy who's been hitting leadoff most of the season. Battipaglia leads the team in a lot of different categories: runs, hits, triples, walks, but also strikeouts and stolen bases. Been the guy that has been getting pretty much the most at-bats on the team, considering he's been the main leadoff man. He's kind of like John Ponder in that sense, but Ponder has missed some time due to injury, as well as illness. 0-1. Good curveball, hits the zone, and it's 0-2. Good pitcher's count already here for Pechke, trying to get out of things with a scoreless third and keeping the game at 5-0. Cerny on second. Davis at first. 0-2. Little outside. Battipaglia hitting .310 after hitting .298. Played every game with Joliet last season. Has still managed to play every game here. 72nd game for both him and the Slammers. Sitting at 29-42. Otters flipped the script, 42-29. 1-2's fouled away.
The overhead foul ball brought to you by Its Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Battipaglia hitting .303 with runners in scoring position, 11 walks, which leads the team, tied with Chris Davis. Most of those walks with runners in scoring position going to when he was on the Ottawa Titans. High and inside, it's 2-2. Petchke already at 66 pitches in his start. Kynes, on the other hand, 2 scoreless. He's gone 33 pitches. So double at this point. Reaches out and pokes one foul again, and it's still 2-2. Patrick Ward on deck. He hit an RBI double. Ended up making it 4-0. Then Valera's single made it 5. 2-2. Yet again from Petchke. Is inside for ball 3. A good at bat here for Battipaglia. And it to a 3-2 count. He has 47 walks, 69 strikeouts. Walk would load the bases for Ward. Payoff here from Petchke. Both runners are going to get a head start. So he pokes one foul. That one's going to get off the pitch clock. Would have been ball 4, but Battipaglia will stay alive in that one. Just kind of fights one off to extend this at bat a little further. Trying to get his pitch and may possibly make it a 6-0 game for Joliet. Another 3-2. Runners go again, and that one's hit into center field. Ponder is right there, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. Liner to center ends things in the third. Still 5-0 Joliet, as we'll head to the bottom of the third on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, it's time to show off some muscle. We got Noah down here on the field. He is our next competitor in the Indiana Air National Guard push-up contest. Whoever ends the season with the most wins a pair of season tickets for next year. Right now, the total to beat is 57. Noah's down here in his Timbs, so he'll definitely do it. Get style points if not. 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Cheer him on, everybody. He's gonna need some help on this one. Halfway there. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 33. It's still a lot better than all of us could do. Good job, man.
Third inning is brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together. Mark Black's leaned it off. John Ponder behind him and Amani Jones as the Otters find themselves down 5-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Got to get something going offensively here against Gunnar Kynes. It was a leadoff single from Blake Robertson in the second inning, but then 3 straight strikeouts to Castillo, Pierce, and Barthol to immediately erase the little threat the Otters had in the second inning. Mark Black playing in his 100th professional game today, so congrats to him. Hopefully he has a good day today and plays well, along with the big milestone. The first pitch is called a strike. Mark Black hitting it at 234, now his 42nd game. 0 for 5 combined in the series against Windy City. Broke the bat, fly ball into left field, as making the catch out there is Chris Davis, and that's out number 1. I'll bring up the Edward Jones leadoff batter, John Ponder. Single to lead off the bottom of the first inning, but ended up becoming out number 3 after the fielder's choice by Marcos Gonzalez. 1 for 1 though so far on the day. Hits the ball very well against Kynes. Now 4 for 4 against him with a homer. First pitch misses for ball 1. Kynes was at Mount Olive all the way up until 2015, was a 36th round draft pick, but only spent 2 years there, 2015 to 2017, before his trek in indie ball. Fly ball into right field, making the catch out there is Barry. So he almost ran into Tyler Cerny. That's out number 2.
The shortstop, number 12, Amani Jones.
That'll bring up Amani Jones with 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Struck out, was the first of 4 Ks so far against Kynes in the 1st inning. Still take a ball 1 a little high. I take a look at the other teams that Kynes has played for. Is mostly Schaumburg, but also Lake Erie and Southern Illinois, the minors. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. Had 2 stints in minor league baseball. 1 year with the Marlins in 2015, and then half a season with the Mets. It was with the Brooklyn Cyclones before they were a high A team. They were a short A team. Speaking of the Brooklyn Cyclones, congrats to JT Benson for getting called up, former Otter, to the AA Binghamton Rumble Ponies. Slow curveball, 71, misses high, and it's 3-1 to Jones. Now Kynes kicks and deals the 3-1. That's ripped down the line left field, and it will just go foul. "101" off the bat of Jones, and that one just veering off to the left side. Gets into the Joliet bullpen. So Jones will have to head back and face a 3-2 here against Kynes. Kynes, second time through the lineup, the offense does get a little better on the other side. 544 OPS compared to 770. 3-2 grounder up the middle off the mound and into center field for a base hit. Monty Jones is on the board. 3rd hit of the day for Evansville. First for Jones, and that'll bring up Logan Brown, runner on first and 2 outs. Well, the 5 runs that Joliet scored in the 2nd inning all came with 2 outs. Maybe we'll see a little rally here for Evansville to try and get things back into order. First pitch from Kynes to Logan Brown. Fouled away, and it's 0-1. Fly out to left field for Logan Brown in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1. Joliet does have some good pitching. 5.72 ERA as a team, which is 5th in the league. Otters are 3rd, 5.11. Grounder into left field and an opposite field single for Logan Brown. Back-to-back singles for Jones and Brown. And the Otters might have something going here with 2 outs. Mentioned the Otters 2-out hitting all the time. Now 37.6% of their runs have come with 2 outs this season. 156 out of their total 414. Gonzalez this season, in terms of 2-out RBIs, he has 12 of them. Chance to get on the board here. First pitch a little low for ball 1 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this season. Gonzalez is hitting .462. 12 for 26. "1-0 from Kynes. Fouled away off to the right side. Overall this season, Gonzalez 48 RBIs. Only 1 though in his last, or 3 in his last 5 games. Doesn't have an RBI yet against Joliet. Could change right here. 1-1. There's a grounder over to second base. Scooped up by Cerny. His throw to first is in time, and that's out number 3. The Otters had 2 on with 2 outs. Weren't able to bring either of them across. It's still 5-0 Slammers as we'll head to the 4th on the Otters Digital Network.
Subtime, Jersey Mike's Builders subtime. We've got 2 master sub chefs on the field. Third base side, we have Clayton. First base side, we've got Jensen. They're going to spin around the bat 10 times, build themselves an artisan bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Deliver it to their honor bell. If they can do all that with all the ingredients inside, that person will be your winner. You ready over there? You ready? You ready? All right, let's go. Clayton spinning fast. We're building. It's going to be close. Oh, he just beat her out. Clayton is your winner. The only way to top us up is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's. Because authentic ingredients make us up above. Jersey Mike's is located at 939 North Burkhart Road in Evansville.
Say hello to Locomeyer Seeds. Here in left field, have the Group Valley, a group of about 30. Great to have them with us. We're celebrating Maddox's birthday as well in section 60. Happy birthday to Maddox. And Good Finishing Systems. They're in the Corona Extra patio deck. Well, Good Finishing Systems.
Top of the 4th inning, Joliet leads at 5-0. It's Patrick Ward, Blake Berry, Jackson Valera, 2-3-4 hitters leading off for Joliet as they look to extend their lead here in the 4th inning. Ben Petchke had that rough second inning, but in between that, it's been relatively normal for him. Now sitting at 69 pitches coming into this inning as the first pitch will miss inside for ball 1. Ward now on a 15-game hitting streak after his RBI double. Ended up coming around to score himself on the single from Jackson Valera. 2-0 pitch from Petchke. Called a strike. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Joliet, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Evansville. Petchke working fast here to start the 4th. That will miss inside, and it's 3-1. Hey, Petchke's already ready to go. 3-1 pitch. Fly ball into center field. Going back is John Ponder. He's back at the track, at the wall, and that one is gone. Dead center field homer for Patrick Ward, 416 on the distance. His 6th homer of the year, and it's 6-0 Joliet here in the 4th inning.
Right fielder.
So Ward 2 for 3 now with 2 RBIs. So that one goes right over the 410 sign out in center field. That'll bring up Blake Berry. Run already in for Joliet in the 4th. 5th homer given up by Petchke this season. First pitch called a strike, and it's 0-1. Last time Petchke gave up a homer was on the 21st of June against Mississippi. He gave up 2 homers. It's the only time he's given up multiple homers in a game. Fouled away, and it's 0-2 to Berry, who is 1 for 1, singled in the first, walked in the second. Is the only walk given up by Petchke today. It's been the hits that have been a big issue for him. 0-2's outside. One-two pitch. Another one high and away. And it's 2-2. Petchke's been dealing with some injuries this season after missing all of 2025 with injury. So that one's a fly ball into right center field. Ponder will make the catch on the run as that is out number 1.
Designated hitter 14, Jackson Valera.
Oh, the Otters' biggest comeback win is when they were down 6. That was all the way back in early May, first weekend of the season against the Florence Yalls. They also came back from down 8 against Mississippi in the 13-13 sudden death win, which we always got to find a chance to talk about here on the broadcast. First pitch called a strike. Oh, 1. Fly ball into center field. Ponder ranging back, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Ponder getting some work out there in center field to start off the 5th inning. That homer was hit over his head, but he was able to catch the next 2, and 2 down now for Peyton Carr.
9, Peyton Carr.
A reminder that tomorrow is Country Night 2.0 for the Otters, as they have a doubleheader starting at 5:05 against the Joliet Slammers. First pitch called a strike to Carr. It's 0-1. That 13-13 game where the Otters were down 8, Petchke was the starter in that one too. Grounder to short. Monty Jones snags it. Throw to first is in time, and that's out number 3. Solo homer, though, for Patrick Ward, his 6th of the year, and a 6-run lead now for Joliet as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to show us your best smiles for the HRI Dental Smile King. Over 300,000 members trust HRI Dental because it's based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. HRI Dental has been ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep on smiling with HRI Dental. Also, a round of applause for our volunteer as they help brush off the bases. Look at those pearly white shine. This is the Sheet Metal Workers Local 20 4th inning. For 138 years, Sheet Metal Workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. And I have a special birthday shout out. We're saying happy birthday to Isabel and Lucas. Your family loves you, and they told me about your birthday. Happy birthday to
4th innings brought to you by Sheet Metal Workers Local 20. For 138 years, Sheet Metal Workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. Gunnar Kynes has pitched so far 3 scoreless innings, and he's been pitching the ball well, pretty efficiently as well. Kynes usually pitching well against the Otters this season. And also just in general, having a good season. He does have only 1 scoreless start this season, and that was against the Otters. That's 6 scoreless on July 5th. The Otters did end up winning that game, though, because it was one of the doubleheader games in which the Otters swept the Slammers in Joliet. Robertson's leading it off again here as he led off the 2nd inning as well. Robertson, Castillo, Pierce. B-Rob hit a single in the 2nd inning, is now 2 for 5 with a double against the Slammers this season. First pitch is called a strike, and it's 0-1. That will miss, making it 1-1. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard as Florence is up on Sussex, 1-0. If Florence wins and the Otters lose, the Otters are down to third place in the division. Still in a wild card spot, but also would face off against Washington if the season ended today instead of Schaumburg. 2-1 here from Kynes. High fly ball into right field. Blake Berry waiting for that one to come down, and he will make the catch for out number 1. No one down. That'll bring up LG Castillo. Castillo had a strikeout looking in the second inning. First pitch from Kynes. With the home run now, 6 runs on 8 hits for Joliet as they look to take game 1 of the series. It's been a rough going so far the past couple months in series openers for the Otters, but usually they come back and play pretty well in the rest of the series. Hopefully that remains true, and hopefully the Otters can come back here and still remain playing well the rest of the series. But they lost 7 straight series openers up until the series opening win against Windy City on Friday. Back over 500 at 12-11. A little high, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch here from Kynes. Swinging and a miss, and that's strike 3. LG strikes out for the second time today. 5th K for Kynes, and that's out number 2 in the 4th. Dennis Pierce also struck out in his first at-bat. That was the string of 3 straight strikeouts where Kynes got Castillo, Pierce, and Barthol. Pierce now 3 for 17 against Joliet pitching this season, but there is a base hit into center field, and now it's 4 hits against Joliet as Pierce has a single with 2 outs. That'll bring up Blake Barthol.
The second baseman, number 8, Blake Barthol.
Mentioned Barthol from Brennigsville, Pennsylvania. Originally from Allentown, which is just east of Brennigsville. Allentown and Brennigsville, a little northwest of Philadelphia. So another Pennsylvania guy. A lot of those guys that seem to be migrating to the Otters, finding their way over here. Mark Black from Pittsburgh, who is on deck. He's going to be back home, technically. Kind of near home when we play Washington over the weekend. Opposite way grounder over to third. Patrick Ward throw across the diamond to first, and that's out number 3. 4 scoreless for Kynes. We'll head to the 5th inning. 6-0 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your Southwest Graphics, Evansville Otterville.
Have you seen him in the honor round lately? Make sure you tell him hello when you do. Evan's excited to see all of our fans and encourages you to visit Heritage for all of your banking needs. Heritage, a proud partner of the Evansville Otters.
Fifth inning, Otters down 6-0. Ben Petchke back out there for another frame as he'll face off against Beeman, Cerny, and Davis. So far for Petchke, he's gone 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. On the other side for Kynes, 3 2/3, 5 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. It's been all Joliet so far today. But Beeman 0 for 2 today has a strikeout in the second inning and led off the third with a grounder to short on the first pitch. So Beeman currently at 0 for 2. Facing off and leading off against Petchke. Cerny on deck. First pitch called a strike. Beeman has his best splits so far this season in night games, but he is now 0 for 2. Petchke bobbles it. Throw to first, though, is still in time, and that's out number 1. Has a 1,021 OPS in night games. His worst split, day games, 523. So Beeman loves playing at night, apparently. Tyler Cerny up for the third time. He's reached twice, hit a triple. Started off the 5-run inning with that triple, came around to score, got hit by a pitch, so he's reached twice. And he got hit by a pitch, reached second base, but didn't come around to score. Cerny has been a little cold his last 10 games up until today. That one's fouled away to the right side. He had a 455 OPS in his last 10 games. It's been a little bit of a rough going for him so far. But it has been quite good today with his triple and hit by pitch. A little low, and it's 1-1. Pretty even in terms of the splits between lefties and righties, though. Righties actually hitting worst, 239, which makes sense. But 255 against lefties, not too bad. Inside, and it's 2-1. To strike out a 20.7% clip. A little low, and it's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch from Petchke is outside for ball 4. Second walk issued by Petchke as Cerny will reach for the third time in 3 at-bats. And that'll bring up Chris Davis. Well, Davis this season with Joliet, 1 homer on the year. That was a 3 for 4 game he had on July 26th against Schaumburg. Drove in 2 runs. That's his only extra base hit this season with Joliet. He didn't end up having 11 extra base hits with Ottawa before he got cut. 1-0 called a strike, and it's 1-1. He had a 4-hit game when he was with Ottawa at one point. It was on the 28th of May against Down East. He went 4 for 6, hit a double, hit a homer, drove in 2 runs. He also had a lot of strikeouts, though, 43 of them, as he struck out in 11 straight games in a span from the 28th of May to June 11th, which included 4 strikeouts in a game, which is season high on May 30th against Down East. 2-1 here from Petchke. Runner on first in Cerny. Nobody's attempted a stolen base quite yet, but Cerny has gone a couple times in his first season as a pro. As that one's inside, and it's ball 3. Walk would put 2 on with 1 out for the 9-hitter Brandon Heidel. The Davis has reached twice already, RBI single, and then reached on an error back in the third inning. Foul tip into the glove, and it's 3-2. Davis spent his first 2 seasons of pro ball in the USPBL with the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Hit .325 in 2023, and that's what got him that contract with Joliet, and now in his 3rd season with the Slammers. (3-2) here from Petchke with a runner on first and 1 out. He kicks and fires. Runner goes outside, and that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks by Petchke, 3rd overall issued by him. And 2 on now with 1 out for Brandon Heidel. Heidel an opportunity to bring in another run as the bullpen now getting some work warming up. It is Nolan Thebe. First pitch from Petchke to Heidel is ripped down the line, but that's going to go foul. Heidel 1 for 2, singled in the second, came around to score, then flew out to Barthol at second base as he moved into shallow center field to make the catch there. Well, Thebe entrusted with the long relief. He did throw 3 hitless in his last outing against Windy City. 0-1. Fly ball into left field. Back on it is Castillo, and he will make the catch for out number 2. A chance to leave 2 on here, but it's the top of the lineup in Battipaglia.
Back to the top of the order with our loose lottery strikeout batter.
Did get the 3rd out in the 3rd inning with a line out to center field, and that was with 2 on as well. Cerny on second, Davis on first with 2 outs. 6-0 Joliet here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch to Battipaglia is a little inside for ball 1 as a helicopter is flying overhead. Not too sure where it's at, but you definitely hear it. Definitely hear it. It's a great night out, though, here at Bosse Field. Good night for some baseball. Good night to see a little comeback. Maybe we'll see that for Evansville. Are running out of opportunities, though, even though it is only the 5th inning. Kynes has been dealing so far today. After his 6 scoreless back on July 5th, he's looking to go 6 scoreless again here in the month of August. (2-0) from Petchke is high for ball 3. That's going to get past Mark Black. Both runners will advance to second and third. And it is now 3-0. Walk would load the bases for Ward, who already has 2 hits today. Cerny's now on third with Chris Davis on second. 3-0 from Petchke is called a strike. Battipaglia does have 47 walks, 3 issued so far for Petchke. Six runs, 8 hits for Joliet, looking to extend their lead here. 3-1, grounder off. Right back to Petchke. He'll throw to first in time. And that is out number 3. So Petchke does leave the 2 on, and he gets through 5 innings, but 6-0 still Joliet with the lead as we'll head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, halfway home, here on the Otters Digital Network.
We have 2 semi-professional hula hoopers on the field. In the pink, we have Ava. In the burgundy, I cannot read. Reese, there we go. They're going to Whoever does the best job as judged by the Honor Bells is your winner. You ready? Set, go! Cheer 'em on, everybody. Whoa, it's hard. It's not hard for Ava. Never mind. We're halfway done. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think the pros got it. There we go. Everybody give Ava a hand. And Reese too. Good job, bro.
This is the Buffalo Wild Wings fifth inning. Bottomless hamster out here. Time in only on their Evansville location, 5405. Pearl Drive, 715. North Christopher Road, Fort Details. John Allen Sports Authority, Ronald Clark is here.
Fifth inning brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Bottomless apps are now here. Dine and only. Visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. I think Bottomless apps have now been here. That's how far we are into the season. So Bottomless apps are here to stay, hopefully. I don't know. I'm not in charge of Buffalo Wild Wings. Mark Black leading it off.
Number 29, Mark Black.
Mark Black, John Ponder, Imani Jones. Top three, 9-1-2. Led off the third inning like that. And now leading off the fifth. Otters down 6-0 against Joliet. First pitch called a strike, and it's 0-1. Mark Black flew out to left field in his first at-bat. Reminder, this is his 100th pro game. Game number 42 with Evansville after he played 58 games with the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars last year. That was after his senior year, or his last season with Seton Hill. Hit 252 there. 0-1. Fouled away, and it's 0-2.
The overhead foul ball is brought to you by Hens Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Well, Mark Black was committed to St. John's out of high school. Didn't end up going there. Played for Chipola his first year in 2021. So that one's high for ball one. Transferred to Wake Forest, where he was teammates with Rhett Lauder and Nick Kurtz. A pretty good Wake Forest team. Went to Gardner Webb for a couple of years and then Seton Hill. Swing and a miss, and that bat goes flying into the Joliet dugout. It's the second time that's happened today. First one was Imani Jones, and now Mark Black lets go of the bat on strike three. 6th K for Kynes. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the third time, and John Ponder.
Center fielder, number 3, John Ponder.
Ponder 1 for 2, singled in the first, flew out to right field in the third inning. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Oh, one here from Kynes, 32-year-old facing off against 24-year-old Ponder. Grounder over to shortstop. Ian Battapaglia will throw to first in time, and that is out number 2.
The shortstop, number 12, Imani Jones.
Well, the Otters have 5 hits today, all of them singles, and nobody has advanced past second base. There's only been one runner in scoring position, and that was Imani Jones, who's now up. 1 for 2 today, singled in the third, struck out swinging in the first. 6 strikeouts for Kynes, nearing that 7 mark where he has been the last 2 starts. First pitch a little high for ball 1. One-0 pitch from Kynes. Popped up, foul ground. Could be playable. Carr, Cerny, Berry, and that will fall just foul. Cerny, Carr, and Barry, neither of them formed a triangle, and the ball landed right in between all three of them. Amani Jones heading back to the dish. Facing a 1-1 now against Kynes. Kynes played in the Australian League for 3 seasons, with the Perth Heat in 2022-23. That was his best season with the Australian Baseball League. He was a all-star, strikeout leader, pitcher of the year in the Australian Baseball League. He was also teammates with Junior Caminero. 2-1. Just high, and it's ball 3. Spent a lot of time in the Atlantic League as well. 2021, he was with High Point. He was with Gastonia in 2022 and 2023. And 2024, he was with them through their whole name change, pretty much. Because they were the Gastonia Baseball Club in 2024. He's also fighting for the strikeout record with Zach Westcott, and he's winning because Westcott not necessarily doing too much pitching anymore. He's just doing the pitching coaching, technically. Kynes still out there, now at 82 strikeouts this season, after the 6 he has so far today. Payoff pitch from Kynes to Amani Jones. Fly ball into center field, and making the catch out there is Jackson Beeman for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Kynes. He's gone through 5 scoreless. We'll head to the 6th inning. 6-0, Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
3, 2, 1. You're experiencing a typical taste of the Smoky Moonshine. Smoky Moonshine with a thin Tennessee milk style sweetness. We believe the crafty flavors of American tradition that defy expectation. And pioneering new experience with what we see. Because we're done to this. It ain't this. Old Smoky Moonshine is Don't forget to check out the Otterston Team Store. Check out all the latest merchandise and apparel that you can buy. Never too early to start thinking about Christmas. And this is the United Fidelity Bank. 6th inning. United Fidelity Bank. The experience you need and service you deserve since 1914. Honors with a callable pen. Nolan Phoebe into pitch. Phoebe is on the mound. Black behind the plate. Pitcher catcher battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East.
We have a pitching change. Ben Petchke is out of the game. He finishes with 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and is the pitcher of record for Evansville. Pitching change brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road. Or give them a call at 812-475-9K. Nolan Thebe's into the game. 4.75 ERA in 41 2/3 innings. 23 walks. 48 strikeouts through 3 hitless innings back on Friday against Windy City. He came back and pitched a very solid outing. Lowered his ERA down from over 5 to a 4.75 as he'll face off against Ward, Barry, and Valera. Ward is having a fantastic day today as a solo homer, RBI double, has scored twice. 2 for 3 so far today. Thebe's faced off against Joliet 3 times before today. First pitch called a strike on June 23rd. He threw an inning and 2/3 scoreless with 2 strikeouts. Then on July 3rd, 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned the loss there, but then threw an inning and 2/3 scoreless in the doubleheader and got the win in one of those 2 games as well. One. Thebe probably going to go a couple of innings here, maybe up until the 8th. Maybe try another 3 innings and get another 3 scoreless if possible. Bat breaks. Grounder over to short. Jones throws to first in time, and that is out number 1. Broken Bats brought to you by Niehaus Lumber. Get your lumber at Niehaus Lumber, please. Blake Berry up for the 4th time, as Patrick Ward was just left with the handle after that one. Berry 1 for 2 with a walk. Singled in the first inning, flew out to center. First pitch called a strike. The 3 innings that Thebe threw back on Friday ties his season high with a game that he had on May 17th against Florence. 17th scoreless outing of the season. 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. There's at least 2 innings pitched now in 8 outings this season. Had a little bit of a rough July, but the end was very good with those 3 scoreless, and hopefully he can come into August and keep up that solid form. 0-2. Little high and away. Another fastball, that time at 89. Against Joliet last season, only 2 innings, but scoreless with 4 strikeouts for Thebe. Nearing his inning total from last year as well. He's at 42 right now and had 43 and 2/3 last year. So that one's fouled away. Berry stays alive. It'll remain at 1-2. Berry's last at bat, he flew out to Ponder in center field. One-two pitch. Fly ball into left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit out in front of Ponder. And Blake Berry now 2 for 3 today with a walk. He's reached 3 times. So Berry hitting the ball well as Patrick Ward. Bottom 3 in the order also hitting the ball well, whether it be Cerny, Davis, or Heidel. Jackson Valeri, he's 1 for 3 today. He has an RBI single in the 2nd inning, brought in Ward. Strikeout looking in a fly out to center in his other 2 at-bats. Has Berry on first with 1 out. Low and away, and it's 1-0. Thebe Wilsonville, Oregon native. He's 25 years old, 6'4". Pretty intimidating presence on the mound, especially with the stirrups. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. Lower half of the zone there. Is that Chemeketa in 2021? A couple years at MSU Billings, Montana State, and then was with William Jessup, with the Warriors his last 2 seasons in Division II. Grounder over to second base. Barthol will toss to Jones for 1. Throw to first is in time, and it's a double play. 4-6-3 Barthol to Jones to Logan Brown at first base, and that'll do it. A scoreless frame out of the bullpen for Nolan Thebe. As we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. 6-0 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
Responsibly. You all hear the train, right? I'm contractually obligated to play this song. It's time to get up and show us those dance moves as we're all excited to be here on a beautiful Tuesday night. Let's get to dancing with our dance cam. And skip the line of being from the company of your own home, the self-service options and Heritage. Heritage, proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. The Otters are back at EVSC's historic Odyssey Field tomorrow for a doubleheader starting at 5:05 on Country Night 2.0. Join us for your chance to win tickets to see Co Wetzel live at Ford Center on Friday. One lucky fan gets to take home tickets during game 2, plus enjoy $2 general admission tickets and 50% off wellness wings all game long. Tickets at EvansvilleOtters.com or call 812-435-8686.
Sixth inning is brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need and the service you deserve since 1914. Gunnar Kine's still out there. You could predict that, that's pretty easy to predict. He's had 71 pitches through 5 scoreless, pitching the ball very well today, as he has been doing all season against the Otters offense. It'll be Logan Brown, Marcos Gonzalez, and Blake Robertson leading it off. Logan Brown to start. He's 1 for 2, has a single in the third, singled the other way through the 5-5 hole. Flew out to left field. Both of his hits have gone the other way. Train's going crazy. Crazy train. You know how it is.
The first baseman, number 28, Logan Brown.
Sometimes the train just does that when we don't play. Sometimes you're thinking they only honk and be loud when we play, but no, they just do that. They just do that. It gets a little annoying sometimes. First pitch a little outside for ball 1. That train is still going. It's still doing its honking. That is crazy. Called a strike. It's 1-1. Well, kind of like the Mexican League, if you take a look at the Australian Baseball League, you'll see a lot of very obscure MLB players. Especially some that have played with Logan Brown, as that one's fouled away. And it's 1-2. Let's take 2019-2020 with the Adelaide Giants, for example. He had a 1.5 ERA, 42 innings. Really good season for Kynes. He was teammates with Logan O'Hoppe, now on the Rangers, Curtis Mead, now on the Red Sox, and Jeremy Hazelbaker. Only the real ones know about Jeremy Hazelbaker. If you know type situation there. 2-2. Fly ball into shallow right field, and that will drop in for a base hit. Logan Brown sneaks in between Cerny and Barry, and he's got his second hit of the day, leading off the 6th inning with a single.
Third baseman, number 2, Marcos.
Third time the Otters have had a leadoff single today. I'll bring up Marcos Gonzalez. He's 0 for 2 today. Fielder's choice to end the first, and then a grounder to second to end the 3rd inning. Definitely due for a base hit. Has a hit in 4 of his last 5 games. That one is high for ball 1. Top 4 built by Frontier League All-Star selections. As per usual. Seems as though Marcos is the main cleanup man for the near future. That's why. Base hit into left field. And back-to-back singles lead off the 6th inning. That'll bring up Blake Robertson. 2-1, nobody out. Possibly the best chance here for the Otters today.
Number 31, Blake Robertson.
Robertson in a lefty-lefty with Kynes. He does have a base hit already today. Led off the second with a base hit. Flew out to right field at his second at-bat, as that one's outside for ball 1. Joliet has blown a 6-run lead before in the 9th against Schaumburg. That was a couple weeks back. They were up 7-2 with 2 outs in the 9th, and they lost 8-7. I'm not saying the Otters need just the 9th to pull off a comeback. They could definitely go for a run or two here in the 6th. But that being said, Joliet has blown a lead like this before, and it was when they were 1 out away. So when the Otters have more than 1 out, 12 of them to work with, it's definitely possible. We have seen crazier things. That's low, and it's 2-1. Brown on first, Gonzalez on first. Brown on second, apologies. 2-1. High fly ball into right field. Blake Berry will head out there. Cerny going right near him to make the catch. Cerny went way out into right field. Not too sure why. But Berry does make the catch out there, and that is out number 1.
Fielder, number 6, LG Castillo.
Castillo is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Could be due for a big hit. Otters got to get on the board here. They have no runs on 7 hits, so they are hitting the ball well against Kynes, but they haven't brought any runners in. First pitch, a swing and a miss. Runners in scoring position. Castillo hitting .367. 18 for 49 with 4 homers of his 9. Homer would cut the lead in half for Joliet. 0-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball, and it's 0-2. Kynes looking to go 6 scoreless here. The biggest jam he's had to face so far today. Oh, 2 from Kynes. Fly ball into shallow right field. Cerny backing up, and he'll make the catch as the infield fly rule was in effect, and that's out number 2. I'll bring up Dennis Pierce.
Designated hitter.
3rd time up today as a single in his last at-bat. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Pierce looking to put the Otters on the board in the 6th inning. Does lead the team in homers with 11. That one's in the dirt for ball 1. Pierce 11 homers. 6 of them have come here at Bosse Field. Hasn't hit a homer since July 25th, though. That was against Mississippi. He was the only Otter to hit a home run at Mississippi in that entire 6-game series. Him and Braylon Skinner. 1-0. Swing and a miss, and that bat goes flying. Not too sure what's going on with the bats going flying today. Monty Jones, Mark Black, and Dennis Pierce. All of them have done it now once. Pierce going to get some more grip. It's very odd. Very odd how that's happened 3 times. Like, it's happened a couple of times already to the Otters, but never 3 times in one game. At the most, it's happened twice. 1-1. Little high, and it's ball 2. No walks yet for Kynes as he continues to locate very well, as he's been able to do all season. He's gone in a couple of 3-ball counts, but not really too many so far through 5 2/3. Seen a big swing, though, for the momentum to shift. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Thebe definitely coming out for the 7th inning. Nobody warming in the bullpen for Evansville. Joliet's finally getting somebody warm. Kynes 6 scoreless. He's 1 pitch away from getting that done. 2-2. Fouled away. He'll have to throw one more.
The overhead foul ball brought to you by Hetz Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
First guy in the bullpen for Joliet. That is Carlos Soto, who has pitched against the Otters a couple of times already. 2-2's inside, and it's a full count. Both runners going to get a head start. Logan Brown at second, Marcos Gonzalez at first. Walk loads the bases for Blake Barthol. Possibly a big spot for him to get his first Otters hit. Runners will go. Payoff. Pitch is high for ball 4. And the first walk issued today by Kynes will load the bases. Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar as Barthol will step up 3rd time today with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So see if the 2-out hitting is contagious and it will spread to Barthol in his first game. First, it will be a mound visit here for Joliet. Not sure they're going to take Kynes out just yet, facing a lefty-lefty, but just a mound visit for now. So we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Schaumburg's beaten Gateway 5-0 in the 7th inning. Washington's up 4-1 on Down East in the 8th. 1-0. Florence is beating Sussex. Reminder, if Florence wins and the Otters lose, the Otters will drop down to 3rd place in the division. And we'll have the number 2 wild card spot. Troyes scored 4 in the 9th, and they're beating New Jersey 8-4. Quebec won 12-0 against Tri-City. Lake Erie walked off Mississippi after Tyler Campbell went 8 innings. And still ended up getting the loss, unfortunately. We talked about the games earlier. Brockton and Ottawa splitting the doubleheader. Windy City beating Windy City. First pitch from Kynes to Barthol is called a strike. Barthol struck out looking in the 2nd inning, then grounded out to 3rd in the 4th inning. 0 for 2 today. Could be due for his first Otters hit here with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Barthol could make a good first impression here with Evansville and the Bossy faithful. 0-2 from Kynes. Opposite field fly ball. Is it going to stay fair? Yes, it will. All the way to the corner. 2 runs are going to come in. Stop sign at 3rd as Pierce will get there. 2-run double for Barthol in his first game as an Otter. Just stays fair down the left field line. Barthol's first hit as an Otter brings in 2 runs. And it's 6-2. So Kynes will not get the 6 scoreless he wanted. Instead, 2 earned. And a big spot here for Mark Black now. Could possibly make this a lot closer for Evansville against the Slammers. And Kynes will not see him. Mike Pinto is out to make the pitching change. Barthol fouled one off, and it ended up bringing 2 in. And that's the day for Kynes. 2 runners on in scoring position, his responsibility. As we will have a pitching change, we'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network.
Joliet with a call to the bullpen. Carlos Soto in to pitch. Soto's on the mound. Heidel behind the plate. Battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 23-19 Arkin Roadie 1-2. 479-9000. Tell them. Same for the Otters. And you. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to give a very special Bossy Field welcome to Abby Bruner. Abby Bruner is here in Section 14 watching Evansville Otters baseball. So, Abby, from Hancock County, Kentucky, thanks for taking it Evansville.
2 runs in for Evansville as they are on the board here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. Carlos Soto is the new pitcher into the game. First man out of the bullpen is Kynes right now. Finishes with 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. As Blake Barthol, the Otters' 2-out approach has spread to him. And he's on second base now with Dennis Pierce on third. 2 outs still. Mark Black, big spot for him to try and make things so closer for Evansville. Soto has a 4.94 ERA in 27 1/3 innings. 29 hits, 15 earned runs, has more walks than strikeouts. 15 strikeouts, 16 walks. He's also given up 5 homers. He's pitched in 3 games against the Otters this season. Is going to inherit both runners here. First pitch to Mark Black inside, and that hit him. Mark Black is saying that it hit him, but Blake McKnight, the home plate umpire, disagrees. That would have loaded the bases for John Ponder. 1-0. Popped up, fly ball into right field. Barry going back, and he will make the catch for out number 3. So Soto gets out of the jam. The Otters do score 2 runs, though, on the 2-run double by Blake Barthol, as we will head to the 7th. 6-2 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, Otters fans, little something different tonight. I'm here in Section D with who I've heard is the smartest man smartest young man in this building. We got Kyle here with me. He's definitely taller than me. We got some trivia going on. Look at the big board. Who won the 2026 MLB Home Run Derby? Schwarber, Contreras, Caminero, or Jordan Walker? Was it Jordan Walker? It was. Good job. And a quick bonus question. Dennis Pierce, who's just on third base, is his favorite color red? Yes or no? Good job. Got a ball for you, too. Let's hear it for Kyle, everybody.
Top of the 7th inning, it is Peyton Carr, Jackson Beeman. Tyler Cerny leading it off against Nolan Thebe, who threw a 1-2-3 6th inning. Gave up the single to Blake Berry, but got Jackson Valera to ground into the 4-6-3 double play to end things. And now the Otters have scored 2 runs. Only down 4 as we head to the 7th. Crucial for Thebe to keep throwing those zeros on the board for Joliet and give the Otters a chance. First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. Andy McCauley not happy with that call. 1-0 from Thebe. is going to miss a little low. And it's ball 2. Peyton Carr so far today 0 for 3. A couple of grounders and a fly out to center. 2-0 pitch from Thebe. That is going to miss low, and it's ball 3. Thebe has 23 walks this season, 48 strikeouts. Beeman on deck. He's also 0 for 3 today. 3-0 is right down the middle for strike 1. Carr 2 for 16 now against the Otters. He's hitting .269 now in game number 57. That is ripped into left field for a base hit. Castillo will cut it off, and it's going to be a long single for Peyton Carr as he takes a wide turn around first. A leadoff single for Carr, his first hit of the day. And that'll bring up Jackson Beeman. Runner on first and nobody out. Thebe gave up a single, then a double play. It could be the same thing here for Beeman. Beeman 0 for 3, a strikeout and 2 groundouts, 1 to short, 1 back to Petchke. Check swing foul, and it's 0-1. Officially into both bullpens here. Carlos Soto will most likely get the bottom of the 7th inning. Peyton Carr on first base has not attempted a stolen base yet. Throw back to first is a little low, but a nice scoop from Logan Brown. Beeman now 2 for 19 against the Otters this season. He has 13 homers, 29 RBI, including 2 homers in his last 5 games. Just a big power hitter, as that one will get past Mark Black all the way to the netting, and taking second is Carr. So Carr in scoring position with nobody out. Florence and Sussex going down to the wire. Still 1-0, but Sussex has 2 on with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Might see extra innings in Sussex. Florence is in Sussex, and then they play Brockton. Very big East Coast trip for them. They're not a very good road team, but at home they're 28-10, which is kind of crazy. 1-1 to Beeman. Fouled back to the netting, and it's 1-2. David Eckes getting warm in the bullpen now. Might face Chris Davis if Thebe doesn't get to him. Maybe Blake Berry on the other side of the order, flipping over for the 5th time. 1-2. Just outside, and that's ball 2. Very close. That one just missing outside, though, on the changeup, 81 miles per hour. Beeman runners in scoring position this season. Not hitting the greatest. 242. That one's fouled away, and we'll do it again. 242, 8 for 33. Does have 3 homers with runners in scoring position, also 10 strikeouts. Another one, 2-2. Between Thebe and Beeman, with Carr on second base. 6-2 Joliet. That one just misses inside for ball 3. Walk would put 2 on with nobody out for Tyler Cerny, who's reached 3 times already today. Payoff pitch here from Thebe as he tries to avoid walking with 2 on. That one's inside, though, and it is ball 4. So the first 2 will reach to start the top of the 7th for Joliet.
12, Tyler Cerny.
This might be Thebe's last batter. Tyler Cerny trying to at least get a first out. Double play definitely would be the best case scenario. Showing bunt. First pitch. Bunted down the third base line. Gonzalez will throw to first in time, and that's out number 1. Successful sacrifice that will advance both runners to second and third. They'll now put Carr on third with Beeman on second, 1 out for Chris Davis. And that will most likely do it for Thebe. Max Peterson coming out to get the lefty. And David Eckes to face the lefty and Chris Davis. So we'll take a quick break as Eckes will warm. Thebe's out of the game. Eckes will inherit 2 runners on second and third. Soto got out of it in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll see if Eckes can do the same thing here in the 7th. 6-2 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
Otters with a probable bid. David Eckes in to pitch. Eckes is on the mound. Black is behind the plate. Pitch catcher batteries powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. For all your battery needs, go to the Answer Auto Repair East, 2319 North River Road, 812-475-9000. Tell them same from the Otters to you.
David Eckes into the game. Florence has officially beat Sussex, so they are now tied with Evansville. If the Otters lose this one, they fall to 3rd place, and they are in a pretty sticky situation. Eckes trying to get out of things here in the 7th to keep the game at least close-ish. Eckes is currently at a 5.16 ERA, 29 2/3 innings, 12 walks, 34 strikeouts, as he's going to face a pinch hitter. Caden Morton is pinch hitting for Chris Davis.
Please, a pinch hitter for Caden Morton.
So Mike Pinto putting the righty in against the lefty in Eckes. Caden Morton, 215 average so far in 24 games. This is now his 25th. He did play on Sunday, went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Runner on second and third here with 1 out as the first pitch is inside for ball 1. Logan Brown up on the infield grass. Gonzalez a little further back. Middle infielders back on the outfield grass. Carr on third, Beeman on second. 1 out. First, a foul ball that will get overhead. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. It's 1-1 here to Morton. Morton has 3 homers, 12 RBIs on the year. One. Little inside for ball 2. Two-one here. Eckes originally supposed to face the lefty in Davis, but The righty Caden Morton pinch hitting here in his first at bat of the day. 2-1, that's going to hit Morton. And he will take first on the hit by pitch. That'll load the bases.
The catcher, 50, Brandon Heidel.
So the bases loaded with 1 out. Brandon Heidel will step up to the plate. 1 for 3. Has a single in the second inning. Came around to score, has a couple flyouts since then. All those were against Petchke. First pitch just misses high and away. And it's 1-0. Well, Eckes in his last outing threw a scoreless frame back on Saturday against Windy City. Has faced Joliet 1 time. June 24th, he threw an inning and a third scoreless with 3 strikeouts. That is called a strike, and it's 1-1. It's going to be a tough test for Eckes. Ian Battipaglia on deck, no matter what happens in this at-bat. Unless it's a double play, Eckes will have to face the leadoff man. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Got to get a big out number 2 here and trying to leave the bases loaded. Heidel calls his hitter's timeout. Eckes ready to go. Carr on third, Cerny on second, Morton on first. That's ripped down the line, but it's foul, and it will remain at 1-2. Heidel just got out in front of that one. And down the line, if that was fair, it would have brought in at least 2 runs, but luckily for the Otters, it does go foul into the Slammers bullpen. Another opportunity for Eckes to get that second out. 1-2 again. Is just outside, and it's 2-2. That one, fastball 91, just missing outside. A good take from Heidel. And he lives to see another pitch. It's 2-2 now. Eckes sets, kicks, and deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Big out number 2 for Eckes as he gets Heidel swinging. And now, bases still loaded, but this time with 2 outs for Ian Battipaglia. A good confidence booster for Eckes to get Heidel swinging. Battipaglia, while he's 1 for 4, is a very dangerous hitter as Mark Black will come out and have a mound visit with Eckes. It's going to be a quick one. Battipaglia, his 1 hit did bring in 2 of these 6 runs that Joliet has right now. That 2-run single coming with 2 on. Carr still on third with Beeman on second. Morton on first. 6-2 still Joliet's up by 4. First pitch from Eckes is just outside for ball 1. Train going by yet again. 1-0 from Eckes. Inside for ball 2. Well, nowhere to put him. A walk brings in a run. Eckes has gone this far, striking out Heidel for out number 2. Two-zero pitch. That is called a strike. It's 2-1. Battipaglia Even in the leadoff spot most of the season, 37 RBIs. Does have 6 homers as well. 2-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Heck is 1 strike away from getting out of things. Could be a good momentum boost for the Otters. Coming up to bat in the bottom of the 7th, still only down 4. It's the top of the lineup leading off in the 7th as well against Soto. 2-2. Just low for ball 3, and now everybody's going to run. Three, 2. Bases loaded. Everyone's going to go. Everyone has a head start here. Big pitch for Eckes. Payoff. That is outside for ball 4, and that will bring in a run. So now 7-2 as Battipaglia takes the walk. There's going to be a mound visit. Max Peterson coming out and chatting with Blake McKnight on his way over there. That run is going to be earned to Thebe. So another mound visit here, this time with Max Peterson involved. As Eckes almost had Battipaglia there for out number 3, but wasn't able to get it done. Walks in a run, and it's 7-2.
Third baseman, 1, Patrick Ward.
Patrick Ward 2 for 4 today. Has a double, a homer, scored twice. Otherwise, a fly out to center and a ground out to short. Ground out was against Thebe. First pitch a little low for ball 1. One 0 pitch. Inside for ball 2. Otters still don't have anybody warming in the bullpen. This is Eckes' inning to finish right here. At least for now. Base is still loaded as moving to third is Beeman, second Morton, and first Battipaglia. 2-0. That is called a strike, and it's 2-1. Now somebody getting warming in the bullpen. It's Joe Morrissey. 2-1. It is called strike 2. Gets a strike away from getting out of things yet again and leaving the bases loaded. Even with the run already in for Joliet. Two here with 2 outs. Fly ball into center field. Ponder running after it, and he will make the catch for out number 3. Ponder possibly saving a couple more runs from coming in. Eckes gets out of the frame, but a run does come in on the bases loaded walk by Battipaglia. He's driven in 3 runs now. As we'll head to the stretch, 7-2 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
You know what time it is? It's time to stand up, stretch, and sing. Here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Otters. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Nicely done. Let's get some runs.
Seventh innings brought to you by Jacob's Pub. Jacob's Pub is proud to support the Evansville Otters in the Jacobsville neighborhood. Be sure to check out First Fridays at 607 North Main Street in Evansville, Indiana. Carlos Soto back out there for another inning after keeping the Otters at bay offensively.
Changes for Joliet as Beeman, who was in center field, he is now in left field for the Slammers.
Then we have a couple of changes.
On center for Joliet,
Beeman is in center field, and Caden Morton is in center field.
pinch hitter. Top of the order to you for the Evansville Otters.
Chris Davis out of the game after getting pinch hit for by Morton.
Center fielder, number 3.
Ended up getting hit by a pitch. John Ponder leading it off against Soto. Top of the lineup, Ponder, Jones, Brown. The Otters down 5. Did manage to score in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bunch showed, pulled back, and it's called a ball. Soto, 26 years old. He's from Kissimmee, Florida. First season with Joliet after playing in 2023, his last collegiate season with Benedictine Mesa. 1-0. Curveball will hit the zone, and it's 1-1. Last outing for Soto is back on Friday. He just threw a third of an inning scoreless, struck a guy out. Actually thrown a third of an inning in his last 2 outings. One of them, though, against Florence, was 4 runs given up, as that's a base hit into center field for Ponder to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Ponder now 2 for 4 today. That'll bring up Amani Jones hitting from the left side for the first time today. Amani Jones has a hit today. He's 1 for 3. Singled in the 3rd. First pitch check swing over to Soto. It's off his glove, and everyone's going to be safe. This is an inning you got to capitalize if you're Evansville. Another base hit back-to-back for Jones and Ponder, and that'll bring up Logan Brown. 2 on, nobody out. Seems like even though the Otters are down, they have some momentum on their side. Immediately, Joliet getting somebody warm in the bullpen. First pitch from Soto to Brown. Grounder over to first. It's bobbled at first, and everyone's safe again. Three straight have reached to start the 7th, and the bases are loaded. I think that one might be an error. No decision yet, but Marcos Gonzalez up with the bases loaded.
Number 2, Marcos Gonzalez.
And Joliet up 5 might be feeling the pressure a little bit. We will have a mound visit. Soto has allowed 3 straight to reach the start off the 7th inning. They're not going to take him out yet. Not Mike Pinto out there, but it will be called a base hit for Logan Brown. So that'll be 3 straight singles. 2 of them didn't even leave the infield grass. After a bobble from Soto got off his glove and went into no man's land, and then a bobble at first by Peyton Carr. Well, don't think there's been a bigger opportunity for the Otters to try and attempt a comeback than here in the 7th inning. Marcos already has a hit. He's 1 for 3. Got a hit in the 6th inning. Came around to score on the 2-run double by Blake Barthol, the only RBIs of the day for the Otters. A lot of pressure on Soto here against Gonzalez. First pitch is called a strike. Soto gave up 4 earned in 2/3 of an inning. Got the loss Back on the 29th against Florence, his only loss of the year. Season high in earned runs given up. 0-1 from Soto. Outside, it's 1-1. There's a lot of room here to get a couple runs across. Soto, mentioned before, does have more walks than strikeouts this year. So can't always be the can always have the highest command. Grounder down the line, but it's foul over to the Joliet bullpen. One, two. Soto kicks and deals. There's a ground ball over to short. Battipaglia has no play. Everyone's safe again, and Ponder comes in to score. 4 straight singles, 3 straight infield singles. And Blake Robertson is now the tying run.
The right fielder, number 31, Blake Robertson.
Robertson has 5 homers this season. Two of them here at home. First pitch called a strike. 26 RBIs. He's driven in 4 runs in his last 5 games. 2 on the 31st and 2 on Sunday in game 1 of the doubleheader. 0-1. That is called strike 2 just on the outside edge. Otters have a run in already. Still have the bases loaded with nobody out. 0-2. That one's going to get away. Not too far, though, to score Amani Jones from third. Jones is on third. Brown's on second. Gonzalez is on first. His RBI single just backing up Battipaglia enough to where he didn't have a play anywhere. Quick mound visit between Heidel and Soto. One, two. With the bases loaded, still nobody out. That is high on the fastball. Good take from Robertson. Makes it 2-2. Robertson does take a lot of walks, 29 compared to 38 strikeouts. 1 for 3, singled in the second, and then back-to-back flyouts to right field. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball got him. And that is out number 1 as Robertson strikes out. First K for Soto today, and that's out number 1 in the 7th.
The left fielder, number 6, LG Castillo.
Another big home run hitter, though, and LG up next. 0 for 3 today. Now he represents the tying run. First pitch from Soto. A little low, and it's 1-0. Couple of boppers up. LG, Dennis Pierce on deck. One-0 from Soto. Inside, and it's 2-0. Backs him up, almost hit him. Good hitters count here for LG, 2-0. To start off, bases still loaded, this time just with 1 out. Trying to keep Soto in here are the Slammers, 2-0. Fouled away off to the right side.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Hess Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
4 straight singles have brought in a run here for the Otters. Still down 4. Any base hit to the outfield could score 2. Anything in the gap could score 3. 2-1. Ripped down the line, just got out in front of it. And it's 2-2. 98 off the bat, but got out in front of the breaking ball. Soto trying to escape a jam and keep Joliet with the lead. The 2-2. Fights one off, pops it to short, throw to second is in time, and that's a double play. The 6-4 double play as Logan Brown is doubled off at second base. Castillo pops into the 6-4 DP, and Soto gets out of it. Still, a run comes in for Evansville. They are now down 7-3 as we head to the 8th on the Otters Digital Network.
By the river. We have husband v wife tonight. Husband is Chris, and he's in the blue. Wife is Julian in the red. She's trying to go without hip protection. She's looking for a concussion. All right, you guys ready? Set, sumo. Your winner and sleeping on the couch is Chris. Sumo is brought to you by Robbers by the River. Savor the flavor of the South at Robbers by the River in Evansville. Don't miss their Friday fish fry featuring all you can eat crispy fish, hush puppies, fries, and coleslaw for only $18. Visit them online at robbersbytheriver.com.
David Eckes back out for the top of the 8th inning. Otters had a prime opportunity to get a crooked number on the board, make things closer, but couldn't get the job done in the end. They got 1 run across, but still find themselves down 4. As we enter the 8th, it'll be Barry, Valera, and Carr leading off. Eckes staying in to face the lefty in Barry. Not too sure how much farther he'll go in this one. After that, first pitch called a strike. Blake Berry is 2 for 3, has a walk as well. He's reached 3 times. Called a strike, and it's 0-2. Oh, 2 from Eckes. Little low and away on the slider. Only 2 lefties in the lineup. Now 1 after Morton has come in for Davis. Just outside, it's 2-2. Eckes walked a run in, but was able to leave the bases loaded. Fouled away over near Valera, who was in the on-deck circle. Had to sort of matrix his way out of that one. It hits the netting. Still remains at 2-2. Valera 1 for 3. Or 1 for 4. He's on the on-deck circle right now. Coming up next after whatever happens here with Barry. 2-2. Just misses. And that's ball 3. Possibly Soto's last timeout here today. Grounder down the first baseline, foul over to the Otters bullpen. A lot of guys on Joliet that's blocking the guy warming in the bullpen. Usually there's only one guy, maybe two. They got 4 guys blocking the man throwing out there in Joliet's pen. 3-2 will miss. Good at bat for Barry as he takes ball 4. Second walk issued by Eckes. Overall, the 6th issued by Otters pitching, and Barry reaches to start the 8th. Jackson Valera, RBI single in the 2nd inning. Otherwise, a strikeout looking, a fly out to center, and a double play he's grounded into already. Another opportunity for him to ground into a twin killer here in the 8th with a runner on first and nobody out. First pitch, called a ball. 1-0. High fly ball. It will go foul. Mark Black turns around, gives it a look, but it will land on the roof. You can hear it bouncing around right above the press box. Valera calling his timeout. He walked very far away after calling his timeout. Look how far away he is. Basically near the on-deck circle where Peyton Carr is housed right now. So Barry reaches for the 4th time after that walk. That's his 2nd walk of the day. 1-1. Just misses outside, and that's ball 2. Oh, Barry does have a game with 4 walks this season. That was back on June 28th against Washington. 2-1 just high for ball 3. Otters have somebody warming now in the pen. Joe Morrissey. He was warming to start the bottom of the 7th, but stopped. Fly ball into deep left field. Going back is Castillo, and that one is gone. Jackson Valera, 2-run homer, his 2nd of the year. That one just got out over the left field wall, and the lead back up to 6 for Joliet. It's 9-3. Valera's first homer was back on June 10th against Mississippi. He's got number 2 here. And Max Peterson will come out. That will be the day for Eckes, as Joe Morrissey will come into the game. Valera's 2-run shot has put Joliet back up by 6 and has made the comeback attempt by the Otters that much more unlikely, as we will take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network.
This is the McMahon Exterminating 8th inning. Remember, hooking up with all your pest control needs, McMahon can. Otters with a call bullpen. Joe Morrissey in to pitch. Morrissey's on the mound. Black behind the plate. The battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North River Road, 812-475 9000. Tell them, same from the Otters. Say you. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we have a doubleheader scheduled because one of our earlier games of the season against Joliet was postponed. We're making it up tomorrow. 2 7-inning contests. The first begins at 5:05. The gates open at 4 o'clock. And when game one of double headers over tomorrow, we'll have game number 2. Our series finale as scheduled coming your way on Thursday at 6:35. Tickets at EvansvilleOtters.com or call Devin at 812-435-8686. You can also tell them that Zane from the Otters sent you.
New pitcher into the game is Joe Morrissey. Morrissey has a 4.71 ERA in 28 and 2/3 innings. 32 hits given up, 15 earned runs, 10 walks compared to 26 strikeouts through in game one of the doubleheader against Windy City. That one's called a strike. Got the loss in game one. Didn't give up the walk-off, but got the earned run. That was the run that came in. Walked off the Otters in game one. So there's a fly ball into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. As Peyton Carr, wide turnaround first. As he'll head back there with a long single.
Now the left fielder, 7, Jackson Beeman.
Jackson Beeman, 0 for 3. He has a walk in his last at-bat. Advanced to third, but didn't come around to score. Has Peyton Carr on first after his second hit, and he's now 2 for 5. A little low for ball one. Both teams with 12 hits, but the Otters down 6. Curveball called a strike, inside edge, and it's 1-1. Beeman 2 groundouts, a strikeout, and a walk. Hasn't been performing the best today, but hasn't really needed to. 1-1. Outside, and it's ball 2. Two one. Called strike 2. It's been walk, homer, and single. Still nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning with 2 runs in. Those runs earned to Eckes. He finishes with 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Two. Outside for ball 3. Walk would put 2 on with nobody out for Tyler Cerny. The guy's been warming in the Joliet bullpen for a while now. Might have to throw a few more pitches as well, considering still nobody out. Payoff pitch from Morrissey. Fouled back. Nine runs, 12 hits, no errors for Joliet. 3 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Evansville. Carr still on first. Another 3-2 from Morrissey. Swing and a miss for strike 3. As that is out number 1, first K for Morrissey. Only the 4th for Otters pitching. That is out number 1 in the top of the 8th.
Second baseman, 12, Tyler Cerny.
Tyler Cerny is up with a runner on first and 1 out. 1 for 2. He's reached 3 times, though. Triple hit by a pitch and a walk, but in his last at-bat, he grounded out to Gonzalez at third. Oh, 1. Little outside makes it 1-1. Cerny continues to hit the ball well against the Otters with that triple. Up to 7 for 21 against Otters pitching. Walk puts him up to 16 walks compared to 34 strikeouts. Fouled away, it's 1-2.
Guess what? That overhead foul ball is still brought to you by Hits Construction. Choose the best in Northland.
Peyton Carr still on first after that single. It's the first batter to face Morrissey. Now the 1-2 to Cerny. Check swing did go around, and that is strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Morrissey, and that's out number 2 in the 8th.
Center fielder.
Back-to-back Ks for Morrissey, and now Caden Morton up for the second time after being a pinch hitter for Chris Davis. Got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, ended up reaching second base, helping a run come in, but did not come around himself. First pitch called a strike, and it's 0-1. Morton has a hit in his last 4 games, but does not have a hit yet against the Otters this season. 0 for 8. Oh, 1 curveball is fouled off the netting into the Otters dugout. And it's 0-2. Still not too sure who's warming in the bullpen for Joliet. Looking like a single-digit number at that. No, I just lied to you. It is James Geschel, number 27. Not only was it not a single-digit number, it was not even close. Down the right field line, that's a fair ball. It's going to get all the way into the right field corner. Rounding third is Carr. He will come around to score as the throw goes into second base. Caden Morton has his first hit against the Otters this season. It's an RBI double. Brings in Carr from first, and it's 10-3. You're in the 8th. Morton's third double of the year, RBI number 13.
Catcher, 15.
As Carr comes around from first, and that will bring up Brandon Heidel with a runner at second. And 2 outs. 3 runs in now for Joliet as they have their largest lead of the day, 10-3. 10 runs now on 13 hits. Fly ball into right center field. Going back on it is Robertson, and that will get over the head of both him and Ponder. Morton will come in to score. Into second is Heidel with his second hit of the day. Back-to-back doubles has brought in another run, and Joliet leads at 11-3.
With our Hoosier Lottery strikeout batter of the game. Shortstop, 18 in Battaglia.
This is becoming a blowout now as Joliet has scored 4 in the 8th inning. And they now lead at 11-3. The Otters had it very close. They had the tying run up in the bottom of the 7th and now find themselves down 8. First pitch is fouled away by Battaglia, and it's 0-1. So Heidel now 2 for 5 with that RBI double. That double for Heidel is 5th of the season. RBI number 18. As Joliet has put up 11 runs on the Otters pitching staff today. Inside, and it's looking more and more like the Otters are going to drop to 2-4 against Joliet this season. There's something about Joliet that the Otters just can't beat them. One from Morrissey. Still just his inning to finish as that one's outside for ball 2. He's now given up 2 earned runs. Two-one. is inside for ball 3. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. A payoff now coming to Battipaglia. Battipaglia 1 for 4. Did walk in a run and drive in 2 with a single. He's got 3 RBIs today. Now 5 in his last 2 games. Payoff from Morrissey is called strike 3. And Morrissey gets all 3 outs via the K, but in between that, 4 runs come in for Joliet as it has become a blowout, 11-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th on the Otters Digital Network.
10 and 11. They're going home with 3 Evansville Lottery cash prize. Keep on when it must be 18 or older. Play ball at the Evansville Lottery. Please play responsibly.
All right, everybody, it is now time for the Legend Tip brought to you by Ace Pizza. New month, new pizza of the month, the jalapeno face, ranch, cream cheese, mozzarella, sliced jalapenos, bacon, cheddar, panko, and sweet pepper jelly. Over there on the right, first base side, we have Evan the Otter versus William Henry Harrison versus Benjamin Bossy. Place your bets. Who's going to win? On your mark, get set, go. Oh, Bossy's winning again. Watch out, players. Come on, Harrison. Come on. Look at that. Oh, Bossy with the win. Don't quit, Evan. Keep going. Keep going.
Evan looking a little humble today.
Nice try.
Poor Evan. I just waved back at him, don't you worry.
Bottom of the 8th inning. 8th inning's brought to you by McMahon Exterminating. Remember who can help with all your pest control needs. McMahon can. New pitcher into the game is James Geschel for Joliet.
Call to the bullpen. Joliet 27. James Geschel.
Geschel has a 5.63 ERA in 8 innings so far this season. He has given up 5 earned runs, 10 walks compared to 11 strikeouts, and he's pitching in a relatively comfortable position here with Joliet up by 8 runs, 11-3. It'll be Pierce, Barthol, and Black leading off the bottom 3 in the order to face off against Geschel.
Designated hitter. Number 10, Dennis Pierce.
Dennis Pierce leading it off. He is 1 for 2 today. The Otters have come back from down 8, but took them a few innings to do so. They haven't come back from down 8 this late into the game. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. Pierce struck out in the 2nd inning, singled in the 4th, walked in the 6th. All those were against Kynes. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Geschel, 23 years old. He's from Rockford, Michigan. First season with Joliet. He signed back on July 17th. That's why he's only pitched in 8 innings so far this year. Called a strike, and it's 1-2. Spent this last collegiate season at Eastern Illinois, where he was the 2nd team All Ohio Valley Conference selection. High and in on the fastball, and it's 2-2. Had a 4.41 ERA in 51 innings. Gave up a decent amount of homers, but still managed to have a pretty good season. As the closer for Eastern Illinois, got 9 saves. In the dirt, and it's 3-2. Tied for 4th most in Eastern Illinois single-season history. 3rd in the OVC. Had a season-high 6 strikeouts in 2 games with Eastern Illinois. It was against Butler and Little Rock. Little Rock ended up making it pretty far in the NCAA regional. 3-2's inside for ball 4, and Pierce will take the walk to lead off the 8th. Second walk for Pierce. I feel like Pierce has walked multiple times in like every game the past week. I don't have any facts to back that up, but just from the eye test. Did walk twice in game 1 of the doubleheader. It's the only time he's done it in the past 5. Blake Barthol got his first Otters hit in his last at-bat. 2-run double that made it, at the time, 7-2. Or sorry, 6-2. Otherwise, just 1 for 3 today for Barthol. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Now, Otters, when their opponents score 10-plus runs, 1-8 so far this season. We all know what the 1 win was. 1-1 is called strike 2. Always got to find a way to mention the sudden death 13-13 game. Always. A lot of connections. Grounder up the middle. That's into center field for a base hit. Blake Barthol has 2 hits in his Otters debut. So first 2 reach here for Mark Black.
The catcher, number 29, Mark Black.
So Geschel has allowed the first 2 to reach, and now there's going to be a mound visit. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard real quick. There's no other games going on. Hey, we're the standalone game. It is 11-3. Gateway scored 3 in the 9th and beat Schaumburg 6-5. Wow. Washington won, Florence won, Troyes won, Quebec. We saw that. Now, really nothing much else happened since the last time we checked the out-of-town scoreboard. That Gateway comeback, though, pretty cool. Hopefully we get something going here. First pitch high for ball 1. The Gateway got swept by Florence. Gave up a lot of homers to Hank Zeisler. He ended up winning Frontier League Player of the Week. 8 homers, he hit over 600, which, yeah, crazy stuff. That one's high, and it's 2-0 to Mark Black. Oh for 3 so far today for Black. 2 flyouts and a strikeout swinging. Was the 6th of 6 strikeouts for Kynes. As he still finishes as the pitcher of record, he's going to get the win if this score holds. Still 11-3. Scoreboard wasn't updated for a second, but now we're back. 2 1s outside for ball 3. Walk loads the bases with nobody out for Ponder. Geschel getting a low leverage situation, but at risk of loading the bases here with nobody out. Fouled back. So that one gets off the roof and lands all over to Peyton Carr at first base. At least you want to make sure you get a couple runs across and make it a little closer than it might look on the scoreboard. Those 4 runs, very detrimental, though, for the Otters' chances at a comeback. Payoff. Fouled away. Mark Black stays alive. Mark Black's 100th professional game. Still is yet to get a hit. He's due. He could be due for a base hit. Definitely would be a good opportunity for the Otters if the bases were loaded with nobody out and top of the lineup coming up yet again. Last time the top of the lineup was up, we got 4 straight singles. Maybe that'll happen again. That's low, and that is ball 4. That'll load the bases with nobody out for Ponder.
That's sit to your head. Sidewalk, cafe, and bar.
John Ponder. Could be his time to shine. Mound visit. Immediate somebody warming in the bullpen for Joliet. It's Jake Carroll out there. Jake Carroll is one of the few slammers that have been here all season that have not faced off against the Otters yet. They're not going to take him out just yet, but I'm sure if things aren't getting much better for Geschel and the lefty Logan Brown coming up, they probably will take him out at some point. John Ponder, though, he's 2 for 4 today. 2 singles, 1 in the first, 1 in the 7th. Did come around to score in the 7th, one of those run that came in. The Otters so far today have actually left less on base than Joliet. Joliet's left 11 on. Otters only 9. Joliet's just been hitting the ball very well today. If this score holds, the Otters will have now gone 0-3 to start at home against Joliet. And they're normally a very good team at home. Crowd's still getting into it here. John Ponder. First pitch from Geschel is outside for ball 1. Well, in between those singles, it's a fly out to right field and a grounder to short. 1-0 from Geschel. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Ponder, 46 RBIs this season. Oh, 1-1 to Ponder, just outside. Good take from Ponder. It's 2-1. Ponder, this season, runners in scoring position, hitting .488. Highest on the team, 21 for 43. 2-1 is high for ball 3. Nowhere to put him. Walk brings in a 4th run for Evansville. Good hitters count here for Ponder, trying to bring in another run. Amani Jones on deck. 3-1 is going to miss. 3 walks for Geschel in this inning. And that one brings in a run, makes it 11-4. Mike Pinto's out, and that'll do it for Geschel. Jake Carroll's coming into the game. Geschel walks 3, gives up a single, brings in a run, is responsible for all 3 on. Barthol on third, Black on second, Ponder on first. We'll have a pitching change, and we'll take a quick break here on the Otters Digital Network.
Joliet. They're going to call the bullpen. 32, Jake Carroll, in to pitch. Carroll is on the line. Heidel behind the plate. It's powered by the Evansville Otters East.
New pitcher into the game for Joliet is Jake Carroll. Carroll, the lefty, he has a 6.67 ERA in 28 1/3 innings, 19 walks, 28 strikeouts, whip at a 1.62. Last outing for Carroll was an inning back on the 30th against Florence. He gave up 3 earned, including a homer. He's given up 6 homers this year. The bases loaded. Homer would make it 11-8, which make things a little interesting. You never know. You never know. It is Barthol on third, Mark Black on second, John Ponder on first. The first 4 have reached for Evansville in the 8th, just like they did in the 7th. Hopefully it ends a little differently, not with a double play, but with a couple more runs coming in for the Otters.
Number 12, Amani Jones.
Amani Jones is 2 for 4, 2 singles. Jake Carroll has not faced off against the Otters yet this season. First pitch called a strike, outside edge. 13 scoreless outings this year. Currently sitting at a 1-1 record. His loss was on the May 20th against Lake Erie. His win was on June 6th against Windy City. He's given up 3 earned in 2 of his last 3 outings. Quickly 0-2. Here against Carroll. Carroll, 25 years old. His first season with Joliet. He was with Washington last year. Pitched in 1 game against Evansville last season, but hasn't had any yet this year. 0-2. That will miss. Good take from Jones. It's 1-2. Against Evansville, June 18th, 2025, he threw 3 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and walked 1, struck out 2. One, 2. Just misses again. Another good take from Jones, and it's evened up 2-2. Carroll played 4 games against Joliet last season when he was with Washington. 2-2 from Carroll. Low and in for ball 3. 0-2 to 3-2. Walk brings in another run. And would bring up Logan Brown. Payoff pitch from Carroll. Grounder over to short, snagged by Battipaglia, tossed to first after tagging the bag, and it's another double play grounded into by Evansville. Run will come in from third as Barthol scores to make it 11-5, but another double play. Back-to-back innings with a double play, and there's 2 outs now with a runner on third in Mark Black. First pitch to Logan Brown. Outside for ball 1. Logan Brown, 3-hit day today, 3 singles. One 0 pitch is called a strike. It's 1-1. 6th 3-hit game of the season for Logan Brown. Overall, his 24th multi-hit. 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs back on Sunday, and now has 3 hits here today. Trying to raise that average back up over 350. Swings and misses, and it's 1-2. 2 runs in. Mark Black standing on third with 2 outs. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. Carroll gives up just the 1 run, allowing from third, but a double play and a strikeout. Definitely could have been a lot worse for Joliet. They still lead it by 6, 11-5, as we will head to the 9th on the Otters Digital Network.
Number 1 barbecue place in town, Hickory Pit Stop, just across Oregon Avenue. Yep, we got boys versus girls. The boys team is Thomas James, Brentless Mason. The girls, Camille, Bree, Serenity, and Clara. Whoever wins, they will have to pull the little green tag over the choose your side wisely. Boys, are you ready? Girls, are you ready? Go! Cheer them on, everybody. Oh, that was close. Come on, girls. Oh, it's real. Come on, boys. What are you doing? Oh, no. Hang on tight. Oh, oh, it's so close. The girls win!
Otters with the call of the bullpen, 11, Chase Gribble. Into pitch. Gribble's on the mound. Behind the plate, it's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Sugar Road, 812-475-9000.
Top of the ninth, 11-5 Joliet as Chase Cribble's into the game. Fifth pitcher, fourth out of the pen for Evansville. Cribble has a 9 ERA in 6 innings. He threw a scoreless frame, his only outing in the Windy City series. Threw that back on Friday. Still has not given up an earned run since giving up 6 on July 10th against Sussex. So he's scoreless in his last 5. He's pitching the ball well. First pitch is a grounder into center field for a base hit. Patrick Ward now 3 for 6 today.
Right fielder, 34, Blake Berry.
For Ward, that is his 13th multi-hit game, his second 3-hit game. Both of his 3-hit games this season have come against the Otters. His first one was on June 24th against Evansville. That will hit Barry on the back, and the first 2 will reach here in the 9th. So not a great start here in the 9th inning for Cribble. Not going to continue his scoreless streak, but not off to the best start here after giving up the single, then hitting Blake Berry. Jackson Valera up. He hit his second home run of the year in his last at-bat. 23 multi-hit games now as he's 2 for 5. Has driven in 3 runs of the 11 scored by the Slammers. First pitch from Cribble. Called a strike. Valera has a 2-run homer, an RBI single, also a strikeout looking, a fly out to center, and a double play. One double play on the side of Joliet's offense, 2 for Evansville. There's a grounder over to short. Amani Jones throw to second for 1. On to first from Barthol to first, and that is a double play. So both double plays in the game have been grounded into by Valera, as advancing to third is Ward, but the first 2 outs recorded in the 9th. Double play is brought to you by Hoosier Lottery. Play ball with the Hoosier Lottery, and please play responsibly. Please. We're begging you to play responsibly. If you don't, then we are not liable. Because we told you to play responsibly, and you didn't. That's not on us. Peyton Carr with a runner on third and 2 outs. First pitch called a strike, a good slider for Cribble. Now all of a sudden, Cribble's scoreless streak is looking a lot more likely. Carr didn't even swing there, but decided he needed more grip on the bat, so calling time for that. Carr has 2 hits, both singles coming in his last 2 at-bats in the 7th and the 8th innings. Otherwise, a couple of grounders and a fly out to center. 11 runs, 15 hits now for Joliet, and 5 runs, 13 hits, 1 error for Evansville. 0-1 is low. 5 runs in the second inning, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the seventh, and 4 in the eighth. That brought in the 11 runs for Joliet. Otters have scored 2 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh, 2 in the eighth, but that was after getting held scoreless through 5 by Gunnar Kynes. So that one's outside for ball 2. Carroll looks like he's going to be out there for the ninth. Nobody warming. There is one lefty leading off in the top 3. Blake Robertson's hitting second. 2-1's called a strike, and it's 2-2. Cribble 1 strike away from getting out of the jam after getting the first two on after the Ward single and the Barry hit by pitch. 2-2. Grounder to third. Diving stop from Gonzalez. Throw to first is in time. And that is out number 3. Great play from Marcos at third to save a run from coming in. As Cribble does throw the scoreless ninth. We'll head to the bottom half. Otters need 6 to tie, 7 to win. As we will hope for a miracle on the Otters digital network.
Give the line and make for the comfort of your own home with self-service options and Heritage. Heritage, proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. And don't forget, the Otters are back at EVSC's historic Rossi Field tomorrow. A doubleheader starting at 5:05, Country 92.0. Join us for your chance to win tickets to see Bo Wetzel live at Court Center on Friday. One lucky fan will take home tickets during game 2 of the doubleheader tomorrow. Plus, you can enjoy $2 admission tickets and 50% off boneless wings all game long. Devin will look you up with tickets. You call them at 812-435-8686. Or you can bypass Devin and just go to EvansvilleOtters.com and buy your tickets online. Whatever floats your boat.
Bottom 9, Jake Carroll's looking to finish things off for Joliet in game 1. Joliet looking to get their 30th win. And looking to give Evansville their 30th loss of the season. If the Otters lose this one, they are in 3rd place in the division for the first time this season. After Florence has just won their 9th straight game. Otters have a chance tomorrow, though, to tie or get ahead of Florence if they sweep the doubleheader. There's a doubleheader tomorrow, 5:05 start for game 1. Marcos Gonzalez leads it off. Blake Robertson behind him. LG Castillo hitting third. It's going to take a lot for the Otters to try and come back from this one. Mentioned, though, Joliet's been down 6 with 2 outs in the 9th and lost, so anything's possible. We've seen crazier stuff. Gonzalez 2 for 4 today. Back-to-back at-bats with a single. There's one in the 7th, drove in a run. First pitch high for ball 1. There is somebody warming in the bullpen just in case for Joliet. Sean Gamelin is in the bullpen. He's the usual closer for Joliet. Ripped over to short, snagged by Battipaglia. His throw to first is in time for out number 1.
The right fielder, number 31, Blake Robertson.
I'll bring up Blake Robertson. Well, Jake Carroll actually entered the Frontier League via the Frontier League draft 2025. He was a 2nd-round pick, and he managed to stay in the league now for almost 2 seasons. First pitch to Robertson, lefty-lefty, called a strike. Spent his first collegiate season in the American Association with the Chicago Dogs. Had 29 earned runs given up, 29 walks, 29 strikeouts. A lot of 29s. ERA not at 29 though. 6.42 and 40 2/3 innings. Robertson down 0-2 already here against Carroll. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. Second K for Carroll today. Overall, the 9th for Joliet pitching, and that'll bring up LG Castillo. Otters down to their final out here in Game 1 of the series. It's Eric Turner pitching tomorrow against Colby Morse. Game 2s are still to be announced. Not too sure who we're starting for either side, actually. First pitch is high for ball 1. But tomorrow, it'll be Colby Morse, who's coming off of 2 very good starts. 7 scoreless against Mississippi, then 6 1/3 with 1 earned run. Given up against New York back on the 30th. So it should be a good one. Should be a good one. On the other side, it's Eric Turner, who has a 5.79 ERA and 65 1/3 innings. Shortened 7-inning doubleheader. Turner's faced off against the Otters twice already this season. 2-0 is fought off the other way and foul. Carroll played at Northwood for his entire collegiate career, 2019 to 2024. He's from Matawan, Michigan, a little bit west of Kalamazoo. Played for the Kalamazoo Growlers before his first pro season. Grounder down the third base line, foul. And it's 2-2. Otters down to their last strike. Two from Carroll. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that'll do it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carroll to end the game. And for the first time this season, the Otters fall to 3rd place in the division, half a game back of Florence, and in the second wild card spot. Still, with Windy City's loss, Otters are still 7 games up in the wild card, but still a little bit of a rough start to the series against Joliet. They fall to 2-4 against Joliet this season, 0-3 at home. And definitely come back, though, and possibly get a doubleheader sweep, at least win 1 game tomorrow. And hope that Florence finally loses a game. They've won 9 straight, which is how they've been able to climb back into 2nd place in the division. Either way, a lot of good offense for Joliet. They scored 5 in the 2nd inning, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 7th, and 4 in the 8th. Kind of capped things off for them. A lot of multi-hit games for Joliet. 3 hits from Ward, 2 from Barry, 2 from Valera, 2 from Carr, 2 from Heidel, and 2 RBIs from Battipaglia, 3 from Ward, 3 from Valera, including his 2nd homer. 15 hits put up on the board for Joliet. They finished with 11 runs, 15 hits, no errors. On the other side, 5 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error for Evansville. They fall to 42-30 and are now in the 2nd wild card as we start the series on a loss. Now at 500 in series openers at 12-12. As Joliet picks up the win as they continue to stay in 4th place in the division. Even with Mississippi's loss, they gain some ground as well. Mississippi losing in walk-off fashion against Lake Erie. Tomorrow we play 2 7-inning games, going for the rain out from a couple months, maybe just like a month ago, month and a half possibly. Either way, 2 tomorrow, starting at 5:05, 2 7-inning games. Hopefully the Otters can get a win or 2 in that one and keep up the momentum going into Thursday's Game 4. But for everybody here at Bosse Field and in Evansville, I'm Evan Patoka. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully stay tuned for all 14 innings of baseball between Joliet and Evansville. And have a good rest of your night.